You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Another W for the Jags. What's up, winners on a Monday? Victory Monday it is. More wins for the Jags. And hello, 2005. Hello, 2007. Hello, 2017. Hello, 2023. And hello, 2025. Yeah, it happens 5 times in the last 20, what would probably be 26 seasons, if you count 2000, that the Jags have had 7 wins or more after 11 games. On a couple of those occasions, they have had 8 wins in that stretch. They find a way to get it done. And that's become, we wonder what the heck the identity of this football team is. And that's the identity for me, is that they find ways to get it done, which is not a bad identity to have. I mean, we're talking some of the best teams in the NFL, from the Eagles most of this year, with the exception of yesterday, and Kansas City all of last year and really the year prior. And teams like that find ways to win. And we envy that in Jacksonville. And this team finds ways to get it done right now against good teams and average teams. And I said it all along, I thought Arizona was a better team than people want to give them credit for. I just told Hamby, I was like, I don't understand, and I think Austen will concur on this. I don't understand this whole, playing down to the competition. It's the NFL. We watch college football way too much to think that playing down to the competition is a thing in the NFL. And did Detroit play down to the competition? Or did you expect them to just go beat Arizona by 20 points on the road in the NFL? I don't know. I mean, we're not talking about a team that's won all the time, a dynasty here in Jacksonville. I mean, wins are hard to come by, people. You know this. And they're hard to come by in the NFL. That game didn't surprise me at all. How it plays out always is surprising. But it didn't surprise me at all that it was a 2-minute game in one fashion or another. How we got there maybe is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, see, I do think that if you're a high-caliber playoff team, you are supposed to beat the teams and make it look good that you're supposed to beat. And I think when you talk about the Arizona Cardinals, who had their backup quarterback, their 4th-string, running back, their, I don't know if you call them star, but they're starting wide receiver 1 out, 2 offensive linemen out. I think you are supposed to kind of go out there and enforce your will a little bit, because I think the good teams do that. Now, I understand the NFL is full of parity, and sometimes the teams that are supposed to do that, they don't. But, I always use that, and I get it, you're 1 game behind them right now, but I kind of use the Colts as a standard. And by the way, should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but is what it is. The Colts, when they play the Tennessee Titans or the Raiders or whoever, an inferior opponent, they kind of curb stomp them. That's what I was looking for a little bit with the Jaguars, because I feel like they haven't done that to teams they're supposed to beat this year. Whether it's the Raiders, now the Panthers they did, but I feel like they've been in close battles with teams that arguably they're supposed to kind of crush. So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I would just argue this, and again, maybe it's semantics. You started this with a high-caliber playoff team. I don't think the Jags are a high-caliber team.
Do you think they're a playoff team?
I think they're a playoff team.
Then I think they're supposed to win then.
Well, I wouldn't suggest that they shouldn't win. They were favorites on the road, but by 2.5 points for a reason. I don't think they're supposed to. Well, listen, maybe supposed to is not the way to say it, but I never expect them to just go throttle somebody especially this team. I said it all last week. This team was better than people give it credit for, and if we're going to throw all the injuries out, the Jags have plenty of them too. They're missing a ton of guys.
But come on paper, you like the Jaguars. You don't like the Jaguars better than the Cardinals?
I do like the Jags, but I don't like them by 3 touchdowns better.
I didn't say it. Like I said, I thought they were going to cover the spread. That's why I took the Jags, obviously, and I thought. I know, and I thought they were going to cover the spread and then some. Is what I was going to say. I think they I thought for sure it was going to be maybe a touchdown. Now, it says a lot when you have 4 turnovers and you still win the ball game, right? I mean,
doesn't make any sense.
Technically, the Jaguars may have played their worst game of the season in terms of stats and box score and all the turnovers and everything, and they still won. So, to me, that goes to show you, how a team can maybe play their worst game and still overcome that. That speaks volumes on that team. But it also says for the Cardinals, I mean, how bad are you if you dominate the turnover battle and you can't get a dub either?
I think it's an interesting dynamic between Arizona and the Jags right now, because you're seeing an Arizona team that was much like the Jags last year. And I think the Jags were like this last year, where they just couldn't win these games. And for some reason, and I don't know the why, it was my big question in the locker room, why? Why does this happen? And, I mean, they will talk about belief and they don't flinch and all those things. That's great. But I think a little bit of that's the mentality from the front office, and some of that's rubbing off. And, again, the most impressive thing this franchise has done in a very long time is bounce back from that Houston loss.
Yeah.
And in the way they did it. And so to continue to bounce back from things that are not going great, yesterday was another example of it on a lot of occasions. And I think the entire football team, you got to give them credit for that. I think the coaching staff, and I think this is where you do give the quarterback credit for it, because he doesn't seem to flinch, even though you could hit the tank in a hurry because the tank was filling up.
Yeah.
You know? So you just like that. Now, you don't want to live like that all the time either. I get it. But, you know, there are parts of you just like, well, maybe the team, maybe you guys are right. Maybe they were that much better than Arizona if they can turn it over 4 times and win.
I mean,
right?
if they don't, let's say it's an even turnover battle. What's the final score? You think they win by 7, 10?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I think they probably do win by double digits, more like the 10 range or whatever, with a garbage touchdown late or something like that, right? It plays out so differently. But, yeah, I thought when it was I think the Jags had 17-14, I think it was, and they had a chance to go down again and score. If they score there, it's like 24-14, and then you probably start to pull away. But, you know, I see good teams do this too. To your point, like the Colts we think they're a good team. I do think they're a good team. They probably dominated most of that game, but that's against a team that knows how to find ways and stay in it, and Kansas City in the last 8 minutes stayed in it. I think the Eagles are a team that's been doing this all year, and they just win close games. It has not been pretty at all. Like, really hasn't been a pretty game at all for the Eagles this year as Super Bowl champs. People are complaining up there about winning like 9 games or 8 games, what they got. And then they blow that one. Like, that is very un-Eagle-like. You know what I mean? I mean, that was more Jags fourth quarter like. And I know there were plenty more time left, but still, like, that's I just think right now the identity of this football team is they're going to find a way, and you almost have a little bit of confidence. Like, I'll give you an example of this. 2 weeks ago in Houston, I think I told you this story. You know, you could feel that thing slipping away. Absolutely could. You could feel it. Everybody knows it. You can feel it from your couch. I can feel it from the stadium, everything. And you can feel it slipping away. And then in my mind, in that last couple of moments on that final drive before they scored the touchdown to take the lead, I was like, gosh, I kind of feel like somebody's still going to make a play. Because this year they have. They've kind of made the play. And there's a little bit of that creeping in, which is a very weird feeling in Jacksonville because it's not been a thing, man.
No, there's a lot of scar tissue there built up.
There's a lot of scar tissue. Hey, at the end of the day, it's a huge W.
Of course.
Right?
That's all that matters.
And they're right in it. They continue to stay right in it. They stay ahead of Houston, which I feel like is important. And now they got the Colts loss is huge because now that really sets the table. And we'll find out if the Jags are good enough to get things rolling. We know this. If you have a 4 turnover performance from your quarterback, it ain't going to end well.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't his best game, obviously.
But if they can find a little more consistency, and then because there are a lot of good things in that game.
There's a lot of great
cruising up and down the field, right?
Listen, this is what it's been all year.
Yeah,
you
really
know,
is.
it's been ups and it's been downs, and you know, I feel like I repeat myself every single week. Yeah. So let's go.
I was kind of wondering what you were going to say today. I know what you're going to say today.
Well, no, like this is where I'm at with Trevor. Like I'm indifferent. Like I know what I'm getting, and I'm not gonna stand my ground like I've said 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. On one side, like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Like for someone to sit there and say, you know, bench him is asinine. For someone, and this happened to me in my mentions a couple days ago, for someone to compare him to Josh Allen and wonder why I don't go after Josh Allen for his bad performance, even though Josh Allen's won an MVP and is the only quarterback in NFL history to have, I think it's 5 straight seasons of 40 touchdowns plus, and people are wondering why I don't chastise Josh Allen for his bad performance against Houston and compare it to Trevor Lawrence. Like, I'm not going to roll with you on that side either. No. Like, it's okay to be right in the middle. Like, Trevor Lawrence isn't Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence isn't, the worst quarterback in the NFL either. I think he's right in the middle. So, like, I don't really need to, get emotional about it anymore because that's what you're getting. You're going to get good, And then you're going to get, what is that? And that's just the way that it's going to be. And as long as we get a little bit of what is that, and you're still winning football games, let's roll.
Yeah.
But I'll come in here and I'll start the dialogue by saying the same thing I say every single week. You going to re-sign Travis Etienne or not?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But
all right. I'll keep asking the question until he gives me and then I'll keep asking the question until he gives me a reason not to ask the question anymore.
Hey, listen, we're not going to paint me into the corner of not being an ETN fan, by the way, all right? I'm just saying I don't think they're going to, but I love ETN, man, and I don't think there have been few people that have stood on the hill for ETN for the last couple of years, but specifically this offseason when everybody was trying to get rid of him more than me. I love ETN. And I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm just saying I think ETN's been fantastic, and he was unbelievable again, man. I mean, that run early, you can keep this up, by the way, because we will get to Trevor, more conversation. And I just think you could have stopped at he won an MVP for Josh Allen if somebody's going to ask you that, because the difference between Trevor and everybody else, in my opinion, before I forget this, is equity. It's called equity. When you can have games like he had if you have an MVP or if you've won a lot or if you've had a 35-touchdown season against 10 interceptions. Like, I think that's an equity builder. Because I think we're seeing guys all over the league. I think we're seeing Patrick Mahomes play pretty meh overall.
Yeah.
Right? Coming into that game, I know he rescued him late, but we're seeing, I mean, Josh Allen looked very normal Thursday night. Like, we're seeing these guys play, but they have the equity built up. Trevor's got to find the equity, which comes with consistency and everything else. But as for Etienne, man, that run that he had early, such a good run. And we've seen him do that at times, but just like I feel like it's out of a movie. It's like Transformers. It's just like he shrinks his body and then hit the burst. Yep. And that's what I keep seeing from this football team. I feel like this football team is so much faster in spots. Like, go watch the sounds of the game last week against the Chargers. And when everything's going right, when you're seeing just highlights, things look faster anyway. But just look at the burst from guys like Etienne and Tootin. Look how fast Devin Lloyd is playing on defense. Like, look how fast, sometimes too fast. You got a little fortunate to get that penalty. They waved that one off. But I feel like they're playing fast, and Etienne is such an indication of that to me. Like, he looks explosive, like college.
Yep.
And he got the catch, and he beat the guy, and boom, it's over, right?
Yeah, well, and the catch was pretty, easy for you. But give Trevor Lawrence credit. Like, there's a lot to dislike about Trevor in that game. That pass was right on the money because he did have the linebacker staring him down, and Trevor led him. If he doesn't lead him, if he throws it behind him, Travis Etienne gets tackled maybe for like a 1-yard gain, if not maybe a loss. But Travis did it. And once again, I get these can be routine throws, but not every quarterback can make them. So praise the dude when he makes them. Had a beautiful throw to Etienne to set up that touchdown.
Yeah, and by the way, this always sticks with me. This was years ago. This was pre-Trevor. John Osher told me this one time. He said, Peyton Manning used to say that pass is like the hardest pass to make because you got to lead the guy in space and you have different players, like one who's faster than the other or whatever else. It's such an easy-looking throw, and everybody assumes it's so easy.
Yeah.
He said in a weird way, that's like a difficult throw based on, where the defender is. But bottom line, I'm not going to sit here and rave about it. I'm just saying it brings me to that when you said that. And then I thought it was just a beautifully designed play because they got the blocking. They cleared it out, and then they have the blocking right down there inside the 5-yard line to make that thing look so easy off the rip.
Well, yeah, like I said, he had the one-on-one with the linebacker. The linebacker is a little slow to react to it, but Trevor puts that ball where it needs to be, and it's a perfect play, right? Like, if Trevor doesn't make that throw where it has to be, I don't think we're talking about a touchdown there. So kudos to Etienne, kudos to the play call, and kudos to, Trevor Lawrence. I think, with Etienne, he did have that drop, right? And then I think he kind of got pulled a little bit. So, like, it wasn't a perfect game from Etienne, but I think that guy's the straw that stirs the drink, man. And without him, I think this offense can be somewhat stagnant. So I'll just keep asking the question until he proves me wrong. Because, like, I think Tootin was making an argument to be like, okay, I can also be the guy.
Yeah.
Don't want to say he regressed because he didn't, get the most opportunities, but 7 rushes for 17 yards isn't that good.
Yeah, I thought I just watched the game back this morning on the offensive side, and there was a run in either overtime or late regulation, and it's a simple, like, it might have gone for 2 yards. Mm-hmm. But I said, I was like, man, that's a fall forward play by Etienne. Like, he looked like he was going to lose 2. and he falls forward to get like 1 or 2 out of it. So really, it's a 4-yard difference, in traffic. And I was like, man, that just shows you how hard he's running, because you could easily get, the 1-yard loss, 2-yard loss, no gain, whatever. And I just think that keeps you into 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 6 or 7 or whatever it might have been. So, he's been really good. 19 touches, I think, yesterday. And I don't know if it's enough. But I also think that's a nice balance to keep a guy fresh. Like, I think he looks fresh. I think he's had enough work, but not an overload of work. Where I thought, if you go back to 2023, I bring this up quite a bit, where I thought he had such a workload in the first 8, 9, 10 games. They started to back off that in 2023, and they never really got him back in a rhythm, part because of some of the injuries and everything else. But I feel like they're in a really good spot with Etienne, and I just thought you brought up a good point. I wondered last week, are we about to see more Tootin? Tootin had a heck of a game last week against the Chargers. Mm-hmm. It's like, are you going to start to feel a little bit of this Bucky Irving? Not because Etienne's playing poorly, but, hey, this guy maybe gives you a little dynamic. He's got fresh legs right now. He looked fast last week. Mm-hmm. And then Etienne is playing so well, he continues to hold any thought of that off. Like, why wouldn't you want number 1 in the game? There was a time in the press box that I said, is Etienne hurt? Because he hasn't been in 3 straight plays. And I was like, what the heck? This was later in the game. I was like, this is I need him back in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you want him
talking
in
about the last game, the Chargers game, talking about?
No, this one right
here.
This
one.
Yesterday, I think it was later in the game. I don't think it was after the drop.
Okay. Yeah, because
maybe it was.
Because after the drop, then, I feel like maybe I don't want to say he got benched, but I think Cohen kind of brought him to the sidelines a little bit just to kind of, let him know, like, we can't do that anymore. So, because I feel like if he doesn't have that drop, I feel like they keep giving him the rock then. Just because he was doing so well, it seemed like.
Well, I would say this: if that's the case, there are times where I think you maybe put a guy on the bench because he did something. I'm not sure that drop would have been one like, okay, go sit down. Well, I think that's a little too soon, don't you think?
No, I mean, I'm not mad at it, man. Like, yeah, and granted, like, Etienne's the most consistent thing on offense right now, but like, you got to start setting a precedent where, and once again, it's one thing if it's like it's a hard ball to catch. It's one thing if it's just, you got a guy around you. It could be, people want to say a hospital ball. Like, this was a routine catch that you have to make. So I'm not mad for Liam Cohen to bring him to the sidelines and say, okay, man, we have to have these, because those can stop drives. Now, thankfully, Trevor, I think it was the next player of the play after that, had that scramble for whatever, 12 or 13 yards and got the first down, but it shouldn't have to come to that point.
Yeah. Well, there was another play, too. I think Reese says that, too. There was a play where later in the game where I thought he almost got hurt, because that field was really chewed up. That field was so chewed up, and he slips on a run play, and it's like, oh, watch out, So, anyway, Etienne, you're right, man. He's just been so good. I want him to have the football more. I do like that they're getting it to him in the receiving game.
Yeah.
And there were a few times when the check down stuff is good, but I just want him to have the football more. And somebody just said this. He's been playing with Etienne for 9 years, meaning Trevor Lawrence, and he's got so much trust in him. Mm-hmm. And I think he does have trust in him. And that's really what stuck out in the game to me. I know we'll get to the good, bad Trevor stuff. But I feel like this game has a lot of trust to me in it, in a lot of ways. And I'll start with that part, where I think right now on the football field, Trevor Lawrence trusts about as much as he has since 2023, first half of the year, when he had Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. Who am I missing?
Marvin Jones?
Not 23. I don't think he had in 23, did he? But whatever. Just those 2 guys, let's say. And if you take Brenton Strange.
Obviously.
Ingram, my bad. There you go. That's who I was missing. Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, Etienne, of course, and Jacoby Myers. The trust that he has in those guys. And by the way, the Myers thing has been built in about 9 minutes, not 9 years.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
But the trust that he has, Austin, I think is really there. I think it's this whole let it rip thing. Well, you can let it rip to those guys because I think he knows where they're going to be. I mean, the Parker Washington throw in overtime, the Parker Washington touchdown, the Myers touchdown. I mean, those are trust plays where I'm not sure, and I don't want to start anything crazy, but does he trust Brian Thomas Jr. make those kind of plays with the rapport that they have, or quite frankly, really haven't had.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It does seem like he's definitely got more. I mean, and you saw this even in the preseason. It just felt like there wasn't a great relationship with Brian Thomas Jr. and Trevor Lawrence. Now, maybe I'm reading too much into that. Maybe it's just a body language thing. Maybe that's just Brian Thomas Jr. with his personality where, he doesn't show a lot of emotion. So maybe he acts like that towards anybody. But you just felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect. I do think there is more of a connection, it seems like, with guys like Parker Washington, right? And that touchdown proves it, because really off that back foot, kind of like you're in the backyard and just slinging it, like that's what it was from Trevor. And then there's a trust there from Parker to, hey, the ball's coming, just be ready and go get it. And that's what you saw there. So, yeah, it does take time to build and everything, and sometimes you're forced to build it due to injuries and things, and that's what Parker, I think, has become. And yeah, Jakobi Meyers has given Trevor no reason not to trust him, because everything that gets thrown his direction that can hit his hand, he'll catch.
Yeah. I think here's the thing, as a Trevor defender over the years, I do think that's been part of the argument. It's like he doesn't have a lot to trust, whether it's another voice in his ear, whether it's an offensive line, whether it's guys dropping footballs, like those conversations. I just came out of that game thinking, even with the turnovers, that, and in fact, maybe too much. I think he throws the turnover over the middle in part because he trusts Jakobi Meyers so much on 3rd and 6 that he's trying to either stare him down or get him the ball. Now, they said in the broadcast it was a really nice play by the linebacker, too, to disguise it. But at the same time, like, I think you can trust the guy too much in some spots as a quarterback. And I think that can lead to some of those kind of plays, but it also leads to the 2 touchdown throws, which I just don't think he's had a lot of that. I mean, does he trust Tim Patrick? Well, if he trusts him, they connect on that play, right? And listen, I thought Liam's explanation of that play was a good explanation of how you could miss that play. You heard it?
Yeah, I heard it.
On the clear out?
I'm just laughing at the whole sister thing going on.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, too.
Saw that.
What's that? We're going to do that? What is that with Tim Patrick?
Let me
here in Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen.
Like, really? And I think Tim Patrick's actually been pretty good for the Jags. Like,
Yes.
De'Ami Brown has not been great.
Guys, he ran one route yesterday.
One route. No, it's like he almost he borderline inactive.
Inactive.
And
what the heck is that?
And I think Tim Patrick's played some really good couple of games.
He's not blocking. They just don't like what he's doing, man. Like, it doesn't matter if you're paying him $10 million or not. Like,
we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, the downtrend, and it's obviously a new low. I mean, one route is insane.
Well, yeah, listen, like I said, man, he's almost inactive. I mean, and you might as well be inactive if you're getting one route.
Listen, I think if you want to play on this team, you have to be a very willing run blocker, and you have to shore up your corner when you plan on running the football. And if you don't do that, doesn't matter how much you're getting paid, doesn't matter what your role is supposed to be, I don't think they're going to appreciate it. And I think that's what's happening right now.
Well, and here's the other thing. If you're going to preach physicality, and you got guys like BTJ and also De'Ami Brown who have shown a tendency or a lack of willingness at times to go across the middle and put their hand out to catch a ball, which we've seen, I don't think that sits well with the coaching staff either.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't sit well with the quarterback, but forget about the quarterback. Doesn't sit well where you're preaching physicality in the run game, you're preaching physicality and going to get the football and make plays, and you're getting that. So I don't think that sits well, just naturally. But I do think Tim Patrick, in fairness to him, has played pretty well for the Jags in the role that they brought him in to do. Again, another guy that just kind of brought in here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his best game yesterday. He probably should have had another catch, and then they're off target. That's the trust thing, right? I think Parker Washington might make that play, or Jakobi Meyers might make that play. Tim Patrick doesn't.
Yeah, Tim Patrick doesn't, and that's the one. I mean, there's a couple things to get away from this offense, but you did see a little bit of a disconnect in terms of their pass blocking, in terms of am I going to chip or am I not going to chip? I mean, that one sack on the corner, like, I don't know if Strange thought the ball was coming out earlier. I don't know if that's on Trevor. I'm not sure if it's on Strange, but there was a little bit of a disconnect in terms of setting the pass rush protection sometimes, and then whether or not you're going to chip or you're just going to go run your route.
Yeah.
And
a couple of times, not just that one.
Well, and that miscommunication, that caused a lot of sacks. And, that fumble that Trevor had, that was a touchdown, that came from, I think, a miscommunication as well.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to stay on the trust thing for one more time, guys. This is what jumped out to me. The Jags, to your point, they had protection issues in the first half. I think I said this on Twitter. I think it was like 11 dropbacks. They had a couple of drops in there, 3 completions.
He was 3 for 8.
3 for 8, but 3 completions, 5 incompletions, whether I didn't even say the drops, but I think a couple were drops. And then you got the fumble play at 3 sacks. So 3 sacks and 11 dropbacks.
Yeah.
Like, that was not good.
Yeah.
And what does Liam Cohen do? Liam Cohen comes out of the gates in the second half and says, let's just keep throwing.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And I get the throw to run type of scenario in the early down stuff when they don't think you're going to do it. And they went boom, boom, boom right down the field until the interception gets tipped. But to me, Austen, that says trust. And even with a guy having turnovers, I think he was like, screw it, or he's trust. And he trusted the offensive line coming out of the gates, and he trusted Trevor. And I think he continues to trust Trevor, or just says, I got to trust Trevor. I don't know which one. But you can tell there's a difference in that, where it's like, I'm still going to put it in his hands. I'm still going to put it in his hands. And I think that says a lot about the head coach. I think his body language sometimes, because I get to watch it back this morning, and it's like, I don't love all the body language all the time, but I think his words, I think he reminds me of a third base coach, Hamby, sometime, right? When you're in an 0-2 hole and you swung in a bad pitch, and you look down there, it's like, oh, geez, like I got to deal with that too, right? Like, but I think then the affirmation of words, the pat on the butt, the pat on the helmet, like, I don't think he acts that way at all. I think he's frustrated in the moment in real time often, but I think he comes back and trusts it. And he did that with the offensive line, too. Again, the offensive line was not playing well in the first half.
No.
And he trusted it.
And, we've definitely seen a trend where in the second half, it's almost like, all right, Trevor, go out there and win it for us, when I think people want to see more of Travis Etienne and running the football. But, give the Cardinals a lot of credit. They chose to stack the box. They brought Buddha in a lot and kind of just let him roam wherever he wanted, out like Kyle Hamilton a little bit, to try to shut that run game down. And it was apparent what the Cardinals were trying to do, right? They got gashed a little bit in the first half, of that second half, they were going to try to make Trevor Lawrence beat him. Like, they were not going to surrender in the run game, and they stacked that box like you wouldn't believe. I still think a little bit, even though when they do stack the box and maybe you aren't getting, the 4 or 5 yard gain on first down, I still think you keep going back to the run, because I just think that's who you are as a team.
Yeah, I think they continue to bring this broadcast crew is now keeps winning football games, calling the games, but they also know the Jags pretty well.
They
and
do.
If you listen to it, and we know it too, this is why I think Brian Thomas Jr. is important. You need somebody to be a threat down the field. And Tim Patrick ain't going to do that for you. And quite frankly, that's not Jacoby Myers' game.
No.
And it's really not Parker's game. So, I don't care if you trust him or not, use him as a decoy. And then throw it to him once in a while, and hopefully he comes up with the play. But they don't have anybody to stretch the field enough right now, so you're starting to see a lot of sitting down. It doesn't necessarily feel like the offenses you played with, but I used to say this about the offenses that you played with Gabbert and stuff, where everything was in like a 20-yard box. Like it's almost like you're playing in the red zone the whole game. I don't think that's the case here. There are enough explosive plays. You can still use the entire field. But there's not a lot of balls going past, 15 yards?
No.
Yeah, you have no idea. But Buda Baker might not be there if BTJ's on the field. Even the threat of him being on the field.
Yeah,
and
that's what
deep.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's the only threat. He might be on that play. But
I think, listen, I think going forward, and this is with any team that the Jaguars play, they're going to continue to stack the box until they have a reason not to. And even when Brian Thomas Jr. was in, you could make arguments and say, well, how many times did they truly go deep with him? Yeah. Right. So if I'm a defensive coordinator right now and I'm planning to take on the Jaguars, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to stack the box. I will not try to get beat by the run game with Etienne and Tootin, and I'm going to let Trevor try to beat me deep. And if he does, then we adjust accordingly. But until that time, until I see it, I don't believe it.
Yeah. Let's take a break. Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. Get back to the Trevor stuff. We know where everybody is. I think Austen said it's like, hey, it is what it is, but let's dissect it a little bit more. And we hear from Trevor Lawrence. I thought he had an interesting soundbite. I don't know if it hit everybody else's ears that way or not. Maybe it's just my question. Maybe that was it, Hamby. It's just my question. No, it really wasn't like this great question. I just thought it was an interesting dive into what he is right now. And I think closing the gap of what we saw yesterday is very important to happen. And we'll talk a little bit more about Trevor Lawrence because, again, we know this. Y'all might think sometimes you just beat teams by 20 points nonetheless. we all do know this. You can't win football games in the NFL turning it over 4 times. And you need the quarterback to play more consistent down this time of year in particular, if you're really going to do some things and have fun with it. But the Jags have put themselves in that position, 7-4. Civil War avoided. I'm not sure about that. I think there are a lot of people that would have liked to see a loss yesterday just so they could pound Trevor a little bit more and be right.
So too.
Not you, Austin. I'm not saying you.
Oh, that's cool, man. You can say whatever you want to say, man. People are already saying it on Twitter.
I've got an interesting I think next week sets up really who you're rooting for now. We talked about this early. Colts, Texans next week. The way this is shaping up, that's a tough call.
Do we know who to cheer for?
I don't think so. That's my point.
Yeah.
So what's your first gut say? A little bit more on everybody else around the NFL as well. And happy Thanksgiving week, everybody. Jags are 7-4. Hope you're enjoying a Monday.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
Backs it back to her left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
How do we make Mason's famous lobster rolls? It's simple. We get up before dawn, head into the open waters of Maine, haul in our traps by hand, and send only the best straight to our restaurants, where we add warm butter or chilled mayo with a squeeze of lemon and pile it on a toasted split-top roll, just like it's been done for nearly a century. That's the recipe for Mason's famous lobster rolls.
What's been going on?
We're both dealing with a lot of guilt right now.
Can't sleep, can't eat. See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe? We only paid $4 for it.
Looks like we're out of time. Breathing exercises. Inhale, exhale.
Enjoy the new car.
Okay, thanks.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get a Hyundai Santa Fe with 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or get $3,500 bonus cash. Hurry in.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy.
Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Etienne is going to take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School. Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colts Hilly, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Monday Morning Quarterback Report driven by your local Hyundai dealers, and now there's even more to love, and the Jaguars find ways to win. And that is something to love, no doubt about it. You know what? We're not going to talk about this at all today, but hats off to two things, I think. Heath Farwell. There were few weeks ago, I forget which game it was, their special teams unit was brutal on kick returns. I don't know if that was going back to Seattle or the Rams or the Raiders. No, it was the Raiders.
The Raiders.
It was the Raiders game.
Yes.
And
holy
cow, man, they were terrible in that game. Like one of the worst I've seen. One thing about the Jags, like the Jags have been good on special teams even when they stink. They're usually pretty good. It's the best part of their game, which she doesn't really, not really want to be, but they're really good. I mean, Tom Coughlin invested heavily into it. Felt like a big thing. Urban invested heavily into it. And a lot of those guys stuck. And then Heath Farwell's a really good coach by all accounts. One of the holdovers. Yeah. Very few holdover from last staff. But they were awful against the Raiders. And I think you can do a little bit of attrition there as well. But some of that was getting off blocks and just the stuff that happens on special teams. Boy, ever since then, they've been outstanding in kick coverage. And they lose Abdullah last week, who was awesome in that game. He doesn't play in this game. And I thought they were terrific again. So not a big, sexy part of the game, I understand. But I thought their special teams unit, and then obviously Parker Washington, punt return, he's the best in the game right now.
Yeah.
Parker Washington's the best in the game at the return game.
Yeah.
And then Cam Little. I don't think we should just take for granted 52-yard field goal kicks. And those were two big kicks. So hats off to Cam Little,
man. Were they both 52?
They're both 52 yeah. On a chewed-up field too. Yeah. I don't. That field I was walking out with some coaches, assistant coaches. I was like, look at this field. I was like, I was concerned about that on the kick because it was really chewed up. It's a nice surface overall. I don't know what it is with that. It looked like Heinz Field at the end of the game.
Should he have had the opportunity to kick one more to go up by 6?
Oh boy.
All right, I'm not going to be hypocritical here. I said it in real time. I said, should they go for it if it's a fourth down? I think I asked on third. And now I think it was 1 yard, not 2. But and I said, I think they're going to go for it, and I think I would go for it. I think I would go close the game out.
Oh, I'm surprised, actually.
Yeah, and I did not feel that way in Cincinnati, by the way.
No, you didn't.
I did not. But I felt in this time, again, they were moving the ball with a lot of ease and everything else. And I just thought, you know what else? So you know what I was thinking of, which I think Liam Cohen should have thought about this on the goal line when he's throwing and the ball gets deflected, because Calais Campbell's one of the best in the game on special teams in his career blocking kicks.
Sure.
And so that's where he's a game. Well, he also gets, Liam said it last week. Like, Calais is awesome at deflecting passes. So why on first and goal from the 6 do you even have to put it in danger, you know?
Yeah.
Austin, I'm just telling you in real time. I was like, I think they should go for it. And I get the thinking there. I thought they were going to get it, quite frankly. I did not like the play call. I hate the play call that takes away. It was basically a one-read play. And they covered it up. It was supposed to be like in the flat to Etienne or wherever the back was, I think, or maybe it was the tight end. And
gets Trevor in motion where he seems to have a little better vision.
But it was
gives him the opportunity to run. But
once they cut off that play, at first the play was dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were all over it. Hats off to Arizona.
Yeah.
But I hate the half read, cutting off half the field play because it doesn't make the defense play the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think in a game like that, even on third down or fourth down, you could have easily spread things out, put Trevor in the shotgun, and just called the draw. That worked. It's been working.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to kick the field goal.
Yeah, simply because you gave your defense 4 turnovers to work with, and they still held the Cardinals to 24 points.
And one of those was a defensive touchdown.
Correct. And if thanks for you're absolutely right. So 2 touchdowns and a field goal basically from your defense. And I get it. You gave up a lot of yards and all this stuff, but they didn't break a lot. And if you go up by 6 with how much ever time was left, I can't even remember. Like, I roll with my defense there.
It would have been no timeouts with $1:48 to go.
Yeah, because the last thing I would want to do, and like once again, I didn't really have supreme confidence in converting anyways, regardless of the play call. But the last thing I would want to do is give Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals even more confidence if we don't make it. Like, I think I'm confident enough if Cam Little, which has been pretty damn reliable the past couple weeks, hits that field goal, you go up by 6, and now you tell your defense, just keep them out of the end zone is all you have to do.
Yeah.
And I think we got to continue to keep in mind, as long as Cam Little's hitting these 52-yarders, especially if he's shown you earlier in the game that he can do that if you go up by 6 and they do score a touchdown and you're down by 1 with 30 seconds left, you still got a decent shot to get it into field goal range and give Cam Little another. But if you're down 4 points because you went for it and then they scored a touchdown with 30 seconds left, you're down 4, then you're screwed.
Yeah, that was my thinking on the Cincinnati one.
Right.
I would say this, though.
Did he say, by the way, Liam Cohen saying the press? I didn't see that
he
part.
He said
it was kind of.
I think
wants
this
to be aggressive.
This is a little bit of the balance that you've talked about. Sometimes of putting the ball in Trevor's hands or this offense's hands. There's 2 things going with Liam Cohen, or maybe there's a lot more than 2. He's calling plays to try to win football games, but he's also trying to create culture and this attitude and everything else. Like, we have got to be able to. It didn't work out that time, but we got to be able to close out a game in that spot. And the only way to do it is to do it, and try it. And now, again, there's also a play, by the way, of analytics here. It says to go for it by like 9%. So, like, he's got that in his back pocket, too, where it says if you win the game, you obviously, the play right there, the right play by an analytical point of view, and then you add in the fact that he's trying to get this football team to close out, to make plays. Like, I think that enters his mind, maybe too much, by the way.
Well, and here's what I don't understand about the whole analytical thing, because I've watched a lot of football, and I feel like the more times teams in the situation have gone for it on 4th down and they haven't converted, like they've either lost the game or didn't go well. It goes to overtime. So, like,
or is that just what we remember?
But like I said, like, if you go back to like the game in Spain, Miami and who was it? Who were they playing?
Oh, Washington. They went for it, yeah.
Both teams did.
But the Dolphins won. They went for it on 4th down.
But if the Dolphins kicked the field goal, we're not even talking about being like a competitive game towards the end. So, like, I don't know what the analytics and the probability are. I would say the way that it's trending, I feel like the analytics next year are going to say, just go for the field goal.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So here's a little bit of here's why I'll defend it in this way. 1, because I said it in real time.
Sure.
So, 2, I just don't think it was a great play call. I really don't. And listen, there's never a good play call if it doesn't work. I don't like that play. I don't like that play. In fact, I really think you should treat 3rd down like 4th down in that situation. Like a not just a run play, but a play, like a designed, schemed up, we're going to get 2 yards and ice the game play. You have 2 downs to do that. And they did on 2nd down. They threw the football. And then they just tried to run it, but where everybody knows it's coming. But here's what happens at the end of the day. If he does kick the field goal and everything else plays out, where they go up and down, they go down the field, with 6 seconds to go in the football game, they got to go, and the Jags might lose. They get one more play from the 6-yard line, 7-yard line, instead of kicking the field goal in that spot.
Yeah.
So actually doing that, in my opinion, it preserved the way this game played out. It preserved at least a chance in overtime. Because then Gannon went for the kick. Instead, he would have been forced to go for a win, and who knows? It becomes like a Raiders play where it's a do-or-die play, and what the hell, you never know if you make it or not. So in a weird way, keeping it a 3-point game helped you preserve overtime rather than put you in a spot where you would lose the game. You know what I'm saying? If they're up by 6 like that, you know what happened in that end, right? Like when Braswell gets beat and they get the ball all the way down to the 6-7 yard line, something like that.
Sure.
He could have taken one more shot, by the way, and he didn't with 6 seconds to go.
Okay.
But if they're down by 6, they've got to take that shot.
And then maybe they don't make it and they lose.
They might, but maybe they make it and they win.
I mean, it's back and forth. Yeah,
but I'm just wondering if that's where the analytics goes that deep down into it, where you actually give yourself another chance to win in overtime. Most likely, if you don't get this, even they'll kick the field goal. Now you got a chance in OT. That's my
true, but
thought.
I can also make an argument for, does Arizona get a lot more aggressive than if they're down by 6 and have to go for the touchdown? Now they're taking more risk instead of dinking and dunking. You know, I mean, like you can,
Yeah, but the conservative approach happens because you know, even on an offensive end, that you only need a field goal. So you don't need to take those shots. So you dink-dunk, use more time. But it could backfire if you need a touchdown where you're like, boom, boom, boom. You know?
Listen, I understand Liam Cohen putting it in your quarterback's hands. Dan Campbell do the same thing, right? And Dan Campbell has won locker rooms because of that type of philosophy. Like, players love playing for him, and I'm sure in that situation, Trevor and that offense wanted the opportunity. I just look at a defense that, gave up 17 points off of 4 turnovers. I trust them to keep the Cardinals out of the end zone and try to win the game. If you choose to go up by 6, you didn't. It all works out. So, it's all a moot point at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I would have kicked the field goal.
And it's twice that's happened now, too. And one, they didn't get it. Cincinnati won the football game. And now, listen, Brian Thomas Jr. dropped it. They actually dialed the right play call up in that one. Didn't execute it. Mm-hmm. So now we've got evidence of either not the great play calls or not the great execution, even if in the same situation. And, the Jags lost one and they won one. So I guess in a way that's kind of the NFL. But I wasn't surprised that he didn't kick it. I will say that. I think it's certainly debatable, and I respect the debate. But I wasn't surprised at all that they did go for it. And I do think a guy like Dan Campbell and some others would. I was a little surprised that Arizona went for it before the 2-minute timeout. Mm-hmm. And they didn't kick it. But it actually worked out because they had 2 chances. One on the 4th down play, and then obviously they end up getting the ball back and going to tie it. The Trevor turnovers. Obviously, 4 is insane. My problem with the turnovers, more than anything else, Austin, I've said this for a long time, going all the way back to Blake and others. I think picks and turnovers are going to happen. They usually don't want 3 or 4 of them. That's for damn sure. I get it. But I do think they're going to happen. Like, it's just the nature of it.
Sure.
But it's where and when it happens. It's time and place for me.
Okay.
And I think the blame here that I really put on Trevor is the time and place yesterday. You're deep in your own territory. Whether it was a missed block, a missed assignment, a missed whatever, he's still like pumped it twice. Like, the mental clock has to say, get rid of it, we punt it away. I don't know what you do about the Calais Campbell play, but it's like, please not here. Find a window. Avoid the hands. You can't do it. That's 14 points now. 7 points for the fumble, 14 points there. And then they actually get fortunate on the one interception that the defense holds. Mm-hmm. It's a 3rd down play. You could punt it away and flip the field if you don't stuff that in. And even without the great play by the linebacker, he was stuffing that into Myers on 3rd down. And then the Buda Baker one on your own side of the field again leads to touchdown, go ahead. So there's 21 points. So to me, like, there's not a lot of great places to turn the football over. But I think if you're like around midfield or the other team's 40, 30, even if you throw a pick on their 20, it feels so much different than turning the football over deep in your own end. And at the times he did yesterday, where eventually it leads to 21 points, and it was fortunate it wasn't even more. The defense actually stopped the one.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see defenses now get keen to what Trevor likes to do. And that's kind of stare down a receiver once in a while, because this was, I think, more of the Buda Baker interception. But now you're seeing defenses start to bait Trevor into making those throws, right? Where if you're a linebacker, if you're a corner, right, where you're taught, like, all right, you follow the quarterback size, but you always got to be wary of sometimes they can look you off and you kind of have to stay home. Guys aren't really staying home right now against Trevor Lawrence. Guys are just saying, all right, he's looking over here. Let's see if he wants. Oh, here it comes, and let me go and make that play and break on the ball.
Yeah.
You saw Houston do it. Now, Houston, they couldn't get every single interception that was thrown to them because they had like 2 opportunities, but they dropped it or just wasn't clean. But you saw the Cardinals capitalize on those situations. So, whether that's still trying to get comfortable in the offense and maybe it comes more with time with eye discipline from Trevor, but I think yesterday was a great example of you have high-level guys on defense making a lot of money themselves, all pros themselves or Pro Bowlers themselves, that were almost coaxing Trevor into throwing that ball. And when you play against great players, and guess what? Every defense is probably going to have at least one.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah. I thought about the play for speeding everything up. And they were on money downs. It was 2 of those were on third downs.
Yeah, I think it's just he's got to be more comfortable. I think people have been talking about this the entire season where there's times where Trevor just doesn't look the most confident in the pocket. And, listen, we can talk about Patrick Mahomes, probably the most comfortable guy in the pocket. Lloyd had an interception simply because he followed Patrick Mahomes' eyes. So, every quarterback's going to make that mistake. The difference, though, is I think we see Patrick Mahomes, look off backers or corners a lot more, and maybe that's the result of playing in that Andy Reid system now for how long, but that's eventually the progression that you want to see Trevor Lawrence get to, right? Where he's looking at one guy, but really he's looking at the corner of his eye of the other receiver getting ready to break. That's where you hope it gets to, because it's like I said, right now I think you have corners and linebackers that are just daring Trevor to make that throw and then making plays off it.
Yeah, so that's my biggest problem with that. I also said this. I said this to my wife today. I was like, I think a lot of those plays – if those plays happen over a 4-week span, the 4 plays that we saw, it's like, it kind of happens. You're going to get a sack fumble. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a ball tipped, and one's going to go. And then you get 2 really nice plays on defense. But they all happen in the same game.
Careful.
What's careful about what?
Oh, I'm just saying, if you try to explain all 4 of them away.
No, I'm just saying that's where it can't happen. You can't have that all happen in the same game. You can have it happen in 4 weeks, but you can't happen in the same game. And I think, go back to, I don't know why guys seem to make hell of a plays against him, too. J.C. Horn had the unbelievable pick.
Yeah.
We got some great. I'm just listening to the announcers, really. I'm trying to think about in real time what are they saying without a slanted view on this. And it's like, what a play!
Yeah.
It's and I think that's why we got this soundbite from Trevor Lawrence. You have it? Or maybe you don't.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
We got a soundbite from Trevor, and basically I asked him after the game, I was like, how do you close the gap between the highs and lows? Thought he made some unbelievable throws yesterday. I think the 2 touchdown throws were really good football plays.
Of course.
By top-level quarterbacks. Thought the throw to Parker Washington in overtime. Boom. Clutch. Game-winning drive again. So that's the good. The 4 turnovers, the bad. How do you close that gap? Because somewhere in that, if you close the gap, is consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what we just don't have. That's why it's an experience. There is not consistency. I think the numbers indicate that too. This is where numbers back that up. When you have 12 turnovers and 19 overall interceptions or something. That's not a wide enough gap. It needs to be 2-1 at the very least, and you're hoping it's 3-1 or 2.5-1 or whatever it is. So to me, that's the thing with him. He shows you the good and why you can love him.
Yeah.
But then he shows the other side, which is, to me, too much of a peak and valley.
Yeah, I got into an in-depth conversation last night with a friend about Trevor and what you see, and basically because this guy knows football really well, and just his whole opinion about what he's seen from Trevor this late in his career so far, and I feel like this Cardinals game, obviously talk about the Trevor Lawrence experience, that's what it was. That Cardinals game summed it up perfectly. But we got on the topic of, can you remember another quarterback that plays like Trevor does, that puts you through the roller coaster like Trevor does?
I think people would go to Jameis Winston because of the 30 and 30. I don't think that's really Jameis. I don't think he's that. I think people would say Blake Bortles in Jacksonville, and I think Blake had some of that where it would be like, whoa, and then, oh, cool. I don't think he had enough cool, though. Like, this guy makes throws that nobody's in Jacksonville has ever made. So, like, he really does. I mean, nobody, not even Mark Brunell, had the physical ability to make some of the throws that Trevor Lawrence makes. So I don't think we've seen it in Jacksonville. I also don't really like the Jameis comp. I don't think it's that much of a turnover machine. Okay. And so to answer your question, I think it goes all the way back to guys like when growing up, like John Elway, who would make amazing plays, probably even more amazing than Trevor, I would say, with his physical gifts, but also be like, what was that? Like, go ask the Broncos fans the John Elway experience. Green Bay fans know a Brett Favre experience. Again, we're not saying that talented, but you get the highs and lows because they throw a lot of picks, turn it over a lot, and head scratchers and pick sixes and things like that. And then they also make just some brilliant plays.
Yeah. I mean, see, Brett Favre was the conversation, but then Brett Favre, it looks different. Like, I couldn't come up with a name that was comparable.
You couldn't?
No, not like no. Like, because, like, with Jameis, and I get it, the 30-30 season and everything, but, like, no, that's, like, the high and the low of the low. And, like, if you even watch Jameis yesterday, like, dude's throwing for, 300, 400 yards. Like, I don't think that's Trevor Lawrence per se. So, like, I don't compare him to Jameis. And, honestly, I don't really remember a lot of the John Elway era because a lot of it was a little before my time.
And those guys had great careers. I'm not trying to say that. I'm talking about stylistically.
Yeah.
You would see that within a game.
Yeah. I just think, like, I don't think there's really once again, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't think of a comparison of what we get with Trevor Lawrence. Like, when you have nothing to compare it to, like when you have nothing to go, okay, well, this is this or this is this, whether it's good or bad, whether it's a John Elway, Brett Favre, or I don't know, then give me your quarterback bust. Like, I don't think he's anywhere near those guys. I think he's his own dude. So when you have that, you have nothing to compare it to, you don't really know how to react to things. Like, you don't really know what you're seeing because you may have never seen it before. I think it's easier as a critic or a football fan when you watch a guy and be like, okay, well, he's like this, right? We've seen this before. I don't know if we have seen a guy like Trevor Lawrence before.
Yeah, we tried this last week or 2 weeks ago, and I thought somebody had a decent comp over the first 5 years. But I don't remember, and this was where the Matthew Stafford stuff came in Detroit, where he was battling some things because there were external, some things out of his control, from the Urban Meyer type stuff to bad drops and receivers and not a lot of continuity and all those things. So that's where the Stafford conversation came in. Again, I know we're bringing up like really good quarterbacks here, but I do think there's something to be said about that comp over like a stretch of time in the first 5 years of his career. Not all apples to apples, but we had this conversation. But again, he throws some head scratching. Matthew Stafford did. Now he doesn't. He hasn't thrown a pick in his last. He's had 27 touchdowns since his last interception. Apparently, I heard.
But
which
to
is
be fair, I mean Stafford he threw 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions his third year. Like,
he hadn't had that.
Trevor
kind of season,
hasn't
but
done
go look
that
at the
yet.
other numbers. We did that last.
Yeah,
week.
but like
a lot of picks, a lot of turnovers.
Of course,
you got to get a high volume turnover guy to have this conversation. Maybe Baker's more of it. Baker puts a lot of plays at risk. Also makes a lot of really good plays.
He does.
Yeah,
Baker has a lot of plays at risk.
Sure,
in a game.
Mm-hmm. But see,
now he's not playing very well.
Well, now he's hurt. I get more of like a Baker Favre vibe than I do Trevor. Like, I think Baker's more geared towards Brett Favre.
That's the personality too. Though.
Oh yeah, I mean, it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know?
This Glenn says Jay Cutler. You played with him. Jay Cutler could deliver some really good stuff. Didn't win. Didn't have great situation all the time.
Yeah.
And then would make some really boneheaded plays.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, I guess weird. We saw some boneheaded plays with Blake. Like, really, like, was he thinking plays? I don't know. Yesterday didn't feel like that boneheaded to me in terms of why did he just throw a ball, like, as he's running? Like, we see that from Josh Allen still.
Cutler might be a good one, actually.
But it's more like Trevor, earlier in his career, I thought he made a lot of mistakes trying to make a play.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, stop trying to be a hero, right? You're not Lamar Jackson. You're not Josh Allen. Like, you're not making those plays. eat it, take a sack, whatever.
Yeah.
And guess what? I thought he started to do that against the Rams in Seattle. He was taking sacks. And guess what? I had like one turnover in a 4-game stretch. But he wasn't just playing because he was trying to not make the mistakes. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, let it rip. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Third down and 6. I got to stuff it in here. Those 2 turnovers to me in that game, especially on those third downs, felt like Trevor in 2022 a bit trying to stuff it into the end zone against Houston and Denver. Where it's like, if you don't have it, you can't turn it over. It has to be a thought, like, I can't turn it over in this moment. Like, there just has to be a thought there. I know that's not like a negative thing you want, but you got to know time and space to say, I can't turn it over in here. It's got to be clear as day that I see it. And that, again, that would be my issue with it yesterday. And I just wonder I continue to wonder if we can just, are we ever going to get past that? I think people don't think they will get past that. But I do think guys have gotten past that. I think Baker got past that more in the last couple of years than he was early in his career. Again, my point is I think Matthew Stafford got to a point where doesn't throw 18 picks a season. I think Josh Allen's another example of it. He won the MVP last year because he stopped turning the football over. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got like a crazy amount of turnovers in his career, Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. But see, I think actually what I say a lot about the Josh Allen stuff is, hey, the reason why Josh Allen is 2 things. Equity built, and he'll make like 4 or 5 plays in a game. It's like, dude, just take the sack. What are you doing? Like, that is stupid. Again, I watched him twice in the last week. I was like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. But then he overcomes it because he's really gifted and talented and will make a play. I actually thought, in a sense, that was Trevor's game yesterday. He turns it over 4 times, and then he goes and deals.
Yeah.
Like, we got a little bit of that. I'm not saying he's that. I'm just saying we got a little bit of that yesterday. Guess what Trevor did yesterday? Overcame 4 turnovers to win the game, help win the game. I think Dan said it on his post game. Like, the Jags won in spite of Trevor Lawrence. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't
either.
agree with that at all. Like, I don't think they won because of him. You turn it over 4 times, you don't win because of him. I don't think they won in spite of him. Because I would ask this question. What quarterback have you seen in Jacksonville would bounce back from that and win a football game and go make the plays that he made?
Of course, yeah, but this is a team, like, I get all that, correct. Yes, he made some fantastic plays to win that football game. But if the defense doesn't have his back, they're not even in the ball game. Like, I don't think that they won in spite of Trevor Lawrence, but I think they won because the defense might have had Trevor Lawrence's back.
Yeah, well, I feel that. Yeah,
I mean, you have listen, you don't have a -4 turnover differential and win football games.
Oh yeah, no, you don't.
Like you simply does not happen.
Stuff well.
So like, I don't think the defense is getting, and I get it because once again, lost in the box score is how good Trey McBride did and how good Wilson did. And how good Jacoby Brissett, how efficient he was. But it was a bend, don't break defense. And credit goes to Campanelli and that back end because they were put up against it, man.
Yeah.
I've been in games where the offense, gives the ball back to the defense 3 or 4 times, and we're out there trying to make things. Like, it's frustrating.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Colin says, listen, this is where you hear something that, no, you got to hear the whole conversation. You're right. He started the fire. But he did help put it out. Like, that's not a defense. That's the reality of yesterday, is the point. And that's what some guys do. That was my point with Josh Allen. If you watch him play football, he does that. He'll start a fire with a throw like this that gets picked off in return for a pick 6 in his own 3. Like, I watched him do that. What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah.
And then he'll go for
that.
6 touchdowns.
Right.
Right? So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I thought there was a little more of that yesterday where you actually got, again, after they gave up the lead, the bounce back, the throw in the touchdown, the boot to Baker, the bounce back was 4 for 4, touchdown drive, which included the great throw to Parker Washington and elude the pass rush. And by the way, he should have thrown the other touchdown, Quentin Morris. I think you got to catch that football.
Yeah. And if he catches that ball.
On the offside.
I mean, yeah.
I think if you're not the 4th string tight end, you probably catch the football.
Yeah. Now, once and this goes back and forth. Should he have caught the football? Probably. He had a dive for it and everything.
Yeah.
But could it have been better?
Probably.
That can be true as well.
I just do think that's the gap right now, though. Like Brenton Strange, does he catch that football?
I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, if he dives out and gets it, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like he had. Those
I guess
plays are hard.
that's a beautiful one, right? Because that's one where it depends which way you want to see it.
Of course.
Too, right?
Yeah.
But I do agree. It might have been a little hot as well. He had the free play, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And they end up scoring. But Delphonic. Yeah, I'm waiting on that too. Hicken got hacked.
It's not 24 points to a backup quarterback because the defense had a touchdown.
Yeah, so let's talk about the defense. We come back. Let's do that. Okay, let's take a break. And we talk about the Jaguars' defense because it needs more talking about. I thought defense was excellent in a lot of ways yesterday. And Campanile, man, I think fans like this one thing about Campanile, and they should. And I don't know if you acknowledge it in real time because we are so, living in the moment. But I'm going to give you what I think about that when we come back. It's your Monday Morning Quarterback Report. You just listen to here on the Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, driven by your local Hyundai dealers. Now there's even more to love. Trevor Lawrence, sometimes you love him, sometimes you don't. What an illustration of that yesterday. Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
What a throw! Touchdown, Jaguars!
We're coming for you.
They're going to get him on the ground, and that's going to end the ball game.
We show no mercy. Lawrence looking deep in the end zone. Touchdown! Duval!
Etienne is going to take it all the way.
Right here on CBS 47.
CBS 47.
Right here. Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And the Jaguars strike first.
Go Jags.
You have the opportunity to explore what you might want to do with your life.
There's so many opportunities here that it can spark interest that you didn't even know you had.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Man, I think you could spend 30 minutes on this one graphic.
The high and mighty AFC South. The road to the playoffs, the road to the Super Bowl may run through the mighty, the prestigious, as everybody was calling to start the season out, the AFC South. Didn't we do like the exercise where we thought like who's the strongest division and everything?
Did we?
I could have swore we did. Like, and obviously I think the AFC North won out.
Mm-hmm. Certainly won.
Look at us now. And I say us like I'm part of the AFC South, but like look at the AFC South now. Man, have they all grown up? Titans still doing Titans things,
right?
And that's fine,
that's
right?
Not wrong.
Titans still doing the Titans things.
Yep.
Still there's got to always be one that can't pull their weight. But besides that, 8-3, 7-4, and 6-5. Now I'm not gonna lie, Hamby, I don't like looking at Houston there, even though they do have a little bit of a murderer's row coming up. Right, like Indianapolis would be a hard game. Kansas City's still in the thick of things.
Right.
Arizona, they're gritty, they're scrappy. Vegas, yeah. And the Chargers, we'll see. But
Vegas is worse than now. I mean,
yeah.
You can't, I mean, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But
and they fired Chip Kelly. Did I see that?
They did.
Yeah, they should have. Yep.
$6 million as an OC.
Yeah. Well,
they pried him away from Ohio State with $6 million, and he lasted 11 games.
Yeah, well, maybe next time hand the ball off to Gentry a little more. That's what you get. So,
ironically, he had his best day yesterday. I think
another example of adults being stupid.
Yeah, but
with money, just wasting it. $6 million for an offensive coordinator in the NFL.
It's not your money, bro.
Really?
Who cares? Who cares, man? It's not. Are you paying taxes? You're good. This is like. Then we'll talk about the Lane Kiffin thing down the line. I do not care.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care how much money coaches are making. I don't care. Is it stupid? Absolutely. Is it my money? Nope. So I don't care.
Yeah, it's not that it's the money. It's that the decisions are so bad that if anybody makes a $6 million decision that's terrible for 11 weeks in any kind of profession, you're like, you don't have that job anymore making those decisions. But in college and in sports, you get multiple chances to make these asinine decisions and fail. Which is wild to me.
It's the billion-dollar business, man. That's what it is. But anyway, so we're talking about the AFC South. Yeah, man. I mean, Houston does make me a little nervous still. When you have the best defense, you're definitely going to be in the mix of everything. But I didn't see this coming. And the Colts are still at the top, but Jaguars pushing for that now as well. I think the Colts are still a solid team. I get people want to hate on them now after that Chiefs game.
I mean, Brent, you got your wish with the Chiefs beating them.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
I wanted a primetime game, man.
It was the best case, I think, because you got a real chance at the division. I don't Again, I'm not trying to hate on the Colts. Have been very good. And I thought they proved again they were pretty good yesterday. And I don't know how. I think that was a little bit of proving you're good, but also the Chiefs still feel very clunky to me. I watched a good portion of that game. But, I mean, look at that schedule. Like, the Colts are going to have to be really good. Because, quite frankly, Houston and the Jags aren't bad. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle and San Fran could be really tough.
Yeah.
So you are going to – they can win those games. But, I mean, what's the best-case scenario out of that mix right now if you're an Indy fan is 3-3, right?
You take 3-3.
So that will get you to 11, and you win the division, most likely. Now, the Jags put themselves in a position now to get to 11 with that win yesterday, in my opinion. Sure. I'm not telling you they're going to. I mean, but I think they have position to be in. Because you would hope you sweep the Colts. I mean, sweep the Texans, beat the Jets. That's 10, and then you'd have to beat the Colts once to get to 11.
I mean, you'd hope you can go 4-2 in that situation there, but like,
and then it'll be
who knows? Yeah, and you hope that that's the case. Like, Tennessee does not scare you by any means. New York does. Like, I guess I am a little worried because I guess how I felt about the Cardinals, and it was a close game, you know, and people maybe think like, okay, it should have been a close game. Okay. Like, I don't think the Titans are a good team. I don't think the Jets are a good team. So I'll sit here and say for those games, I feel like the Jaguars should be up pretty well, but we all know that's not going to be the case. At least I don't think so.
I don't either. I said weeks ago that I wasn't fully comfortable with the Jags just going through the part of the schedule where the Raiders, the Titans twice, and the Jets and winning all four. I wasn't comfortable saying that. Now, right now, I feel like if you, to your point, if you're a playoff team, I think you have to say that. I think you've got to beat Tennessee twice and the Jets if you're a playoff team. Now, I do think Arizona's different. I don't think Arizona's in that category. I think Arizona's better than those two teams. And I don't know about significantly, but definitely better. I think the Raiders, I think the Titans are definitely in a category. The Jets are slightly above those two, and then Arizona's above even the Jets.
Well, Arizona lost the Titans, though, keep in mind.
They did. It was about as fluky of a game as possible, but yes, you're right, they did. So we think Jags, you hope they go 4-2. You think at least 3-3 to get to 10. 4-2 would get you to 11. 4-2 might win the division, depending on how the tiebreakers fall. We think 3-3, probably best case for the Colts in that schedule, at least the way it looks right now. That would get them to 11. What about Houston? They split with Indy.
Sure.
Do they beat the Chiefs?
In KC? I think if the line would coin, it'll be a 3.5 line towards the Chiefs.
Let's say no.
Okay.
It was 2.5 for the Colts, so it's at least got to be 3.5, 4 for the Texans.
And then you think they beat the Cardinals?
Yeah.
And the Raiders.
They're both at home.
And then what about the Chargers on the road? At that time, how does that offensive line deal with that defense? I have no idea.
Yeah, I honestly think I'll say this much. I think the Texans can theoretically either beat the Chiefs or they can beat the Chargers.
Okay.
I think they're going to win one of those games. So probably more the Chargers.
So that's 4-2, so they get to 10. So Houston will get to 10, we think. The Jags will minimum get to 10, maybe 11. And Indy gets to 11.
Right.
Now, there's also a chance Indy gets to 10. Because if they split with the Jags and Houston, they could easily lose to Seattle and San Fran. Yep. But, so again, the Jags might not go 4-2. Right. So, who knows?
A bad feeling, or just that this Sunday could be a sweat.
Oh, I think we're in for.
I think we're in for a one-score game.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I fully feel that way because I feel like the Jags are going to. I think they'll take care of business in this one. I really do. I'm going to stick with my prediction. I said if they beat Arizona, I think they're going to win the next 5. I think they're going to beat Indy at home, and I think they're going to beat the Jets. I think they're going to lose to Denver. And then I think they're going to lose to the Colts. And I think there's going to put a lot of pressure on that Titans game at home, and that one will not be as easy as people think.
So here's how I look at it. I felt more nervous for the Cardinals game than I do the Titans game, and I get you're playing in Nashville and you don't do well there, but like I could have listed reasons why the Cardinals could have beat you before the game, right? Like Trey McBride, if you believe in Wilson and Brissett and the efficiency of the ball coming on early for Brissett, like I can see maybe they can neutralize that Jaguars pass rush, put the secondary in a bind, and the Cardinals somehow squeak out a win. I don't know how you lose to the Tennessee Titans. Like, I just watched you turn the ball over 4 times, and you still won against the Cardinals. Like, I assume you don't do that again, Trevor, and company against the Titans. So if you don't do that, like, how does Tennessee even come close to beating you? Like, what do they have?
Yeah, I think I go into the Tennessee game thinking the way most people think about a team with a losing record, like Arizona, where it's, okay, you're the better team. You're definitely the better team. I thought the Jags were a better team yesterday, but I think you add the road and the West Coast and everything else in, and you're going to get what you got yesterday. I think Nashville, dead stadium, kind of a dead team, doesn't. I mean, they were down, 30-10 in that game?
Yeah.
And Seattle's good.
I think they got a 90-yard special teams touchdown from DK to make it closer.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it ended up being, I think, a one-score game at the end.
It did, yeah.
I think it was 30-21 or 30-23.
Well, 24.
DK had
it was 24.
He had a punt return as well? Or
that's what he said, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had a special team touchdown.
So, yeah, I think the this is one where it's like, I don't know if it looks like the Chargers game, but it kind of looks closer to the Chargers game than yesterday's game. And if you're a playoff team, you do take care of business here.
Sure.
Because here's the other thing. If you want to comp it to your point about Indianapolis and overall the Houstons and other teams, the teams that are in the mix, have really taken care of Tennessee. People have taken care of Tennessee. And I just don't feel like there's a lot of momentum with the Titans. Cam Ward, I think, played okay in that game. But he's all they got, even when he plays okay.
Yeah, this isn't like one of these years where it's like they got nobody. Well, they got Derrick Henry. But you stop Derrick Henry, we'll be all right. And then Derrick Henry goes off for 200 yards. Like, Spears isn't going to do that.
Yeah,
Pollard isn't either.
Yeah, like there's. I mean, once again, it's the NFL. Anything can happen any given Sunday. Yada yada yada. Parody. Yada yada yada. But like, yeah, I think the Jaguars should win this Titans game.
Their leading receiver yesterday was Gunnar Helm, with 6 catches for 50 yards. That's a rookie from Texas, tight end.
Wow.
Then Chim DK from Florida. Somebody named by the name of James Prochet II.
Gosh, that roster's brutal, huh?
And then Chigo Okonkwo, Xavier Estrepo, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears, and Van Jefferson still hanging around. 1 catch, 11 yards.
Is Simmons playing right now, or is he still hurt?
Let's see if you tell him this.
I think he's
Jeffrey
back.
Simmons is playing.
He played last
He
game.
had 2 tackles yesterday.
Because he can be a game wrecker, no doubt about it. But, again.
Arden Key had a sack yesterday.
Ooh. Arden Key game, possibly.
Key to Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, it's wild. The AFC South is NFC West is really good. The NFC North is really good with 3 teams in the mix. And the AFC South's right there. Entertaining.
That's
super entertaining.
Would you still say the AFC South is really good?
I don't think they're good because I don't think like the Jags are like a really good team.
Right.
I do think the West is really good. I don't know if I feel like the NFC North is really good either, though. I thought they were going to be really good.
Yeah.
But are any of those teams right now, you got them penciled in for the Super Bowl?
NFC North?
And you had 2 teams to start the year, Detroit and Green Bay.
And the Bears
I still like Detroit.
You do?
I do.
If they had lost that game, would you like Detroit?
Not as much.
Close.
Not as much.
Freaking Jameis, man.
Yeah,
How about that
freaking
Jameis play?
Unbelievable.
That was crazy.
I could play tight end if this team needs me to.
Some of those throws, man, that was crazy. Did you guys watch that game or not?
I just saw some of the highlights.
Gibbs is, by the way, Gibbs is unreal.
He is amazing.
They put up 60 in fantasy.
Oh, yeah. I'll take my I had it because it's half-point PPR, so he got me 52.
Was that 250 total yards or something?
I think it was. I think it was 260 with 3 tuds.
That's stupid.
All right, let's talk about the Jags defense. They deserve some love. How about this? 15 quarterback hits, 11 tackles for losses, 6 sacks. You've been at last 2 weeks.
Everybody's been clamoring for it.
The pass rush has done its job. And by the way, without Trayvon Walker, and I know against 2 beat-up offensive lines, but if they didn't do it, we'd be ripping them for not doing it.
Yeah.
So they're doing it against beat-up offensive lines. And this is what I say. I think Campanile, for so long in Jacksonville at times over these last 20 years, there have been times like, can you guys try something? Can you do something? Like, stop playing the same defense. Blitz, bring this, do this. Man, I think Campanile tries everything.
Yeah.
I think he tries everything. There was a few weeks ago, what was it, the Raiders game? Or no, it was the Houston fourth quarter game where Liam defended him.
Yeah.
And he's like trying everything.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get home, and it wasn't working. Man, he's got Dennis Gardeck, a sack and a half, peeling him off on some things. I thought Josh and Eric Armstead were really good. And I know they didn't show up in the 3-sack game, but I think they contributed to the sacks in a big way. That's what my eyes told me.
No, I mean, once again, the entire defensive line working as a cohesive unit. And I really think after that Texans game was kind of the eye-opener for them in terms of you have to rush together. You just can't be selfish and do your own thing and take, liberties. And since that game, everything's changed around. And, yeah, I mean, you can go down the line of guys that did their job. I am still surprised, though. Armstead, I thought interior-wise was good. Hamilton, even. Hamilton's more of the run guy. But, man, I'm drawing the blank. The backup 3 technique.
Mason Smith.
Yeah, thank you.
Mason Smith, yeah.
Man, I don't.
Nothing.
Well, and then the penalty too. That was crucial.
Did he touch the other? I thought. Don't they allow you to get back?
I don't think he made contact.
Why did they call it?
But isn't it a thing where if the tackle gets? But this is like the classic. If you point, well, no, the tackle moved and pointed.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things where if you snap it, then you get the free play. But if you don't, tackle wants to point and move, and that's what happened.
Okay.
Now it was delayed, but that's
as long as
rules is the rules. Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I thought
Branson Combs is playing yesterday. Matt Dickerson is playing yesterday. Austen Lane's playing yesterday.
BJ Green. Danny Strigo came back in after getting hurt. I mean,
Gardeck's playing 2/3 of the snaps.
Here's the other thing, guys.
Even Ogba was back.
Jarian Jones, Christian Braswell.
He's
doing this with a hodgepodge
team
of players, right? With all due respect to them, that's not the way this was designed, number one.
Right.
And number two, it is a lot of the same players or younger players that played on one of the worst defenses in the National Football League last year.
Yeah.
And looked like it against Houston, looked like it against the Rams, looked like it against the Raiders in the second half, and now have rebounded pretty nicely with a pretty good game plan. Yeah, you knew Brissett was going to throw it 50 times, and they were able to get after him. They give up a bunch underneath, and that meant a lot of time of possession in that first half. But then I think when they got set in tough spots, I thought they did a great job. And those were critical moments. It wasn't just the play at the end of the game. That's what everybody will look at. I thought the critical moments after turnovers were significant in that football game. And even after the interception Trevor threw in the end zone, 3 and out just like that, got the ball back in the big punt return for Parker Washington that sets up the next touchdown. Plays like that where people don't look like game-changing plays or sequences. I thought those sequences, you talk about that complimentary stuff, was really good.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I think he's doing a nice job, Campanile.
No, I think he's doing a great job, and just having Lloyd back makes, once again, it's too early to get defensive MVP, of the team and everything. Josh Hines Allen might be making a case, but having Lloyd back, running those games from his linebacking position, which I feel like a lot of linebackers in the league can't even do in terms of running exits and Texas and stunts and everything like that. That's his game. And it's cool to see a guy getting showcased for doing his game, right? I think last year you can make an argument with Ryan Nielsen of where players playing out of position, were they doing what they're best at. I think it's clear that Coach Campanile, in terms of, and it's not perfect, right? Because I think on the back end, with terms of injuries and everything, safeties, sometimes they're asking guys to do maybe more than they're capable of doing. But at least with Devin Lloyd, it's hey, you're pretty fast, you're pretty athletic, you're good at rushing the passer. Let's get you in these blitz packages here, work with your defensive end, defensive tackle, and let's cause some chaos. And he did. Now, on the penalty, I don't know what else to tell you, right? Maybe ask for permission next time you hit a quarterback and you put your weight on him, because
I thought that was a penalty.
All right.
Really? I'm in the minority, huh?
I have no idea what the majority minority is, man.
I thought it was worse than BJ Green.
I thought it was as well.
Why? He lands on him. He doesn't roll off him.
I know, but he doesn't drive him down.
Yeah. And with Herbert, and
making an attempt to slam his shoulder into the ground and put his body weight on him, which is the whole intent of the penalty.
Both calls are BS. But both calls are BS. But with the Herbert one, it's okay. Herbert rolls over, so it's he tried to sell it a little more, and it was a bang bang play. So okay, that was a hard hit. The Devin Lloyd one is just I don't know what you want him to do.
It's just like a regular tackle. Because
I feel like if he doesn't do what he does, then he's just going to try to wrap up and fall to the side, and maybe Brissett gets out.
Yeah, I think we could debate where the intention of the rule should be. I just felt like in real time, I was like, oh, yeah, he lands. It's a body weight play. Like, that's what they call. Like, they call those plays. I know he tried to brace himself a little bit with his hands, but he would still landed like, boom, right on top of him. And I think that's what they call. So, again, we can argue whether they should call it. I'm just telling you in the real – like, I thought totally the B.J. Green one was even in real time. It looked violent, to your point, but also he, finishes off on the side. That's what you see these guys do. They kind of roll off right at the end, and that shows the intent of trying to get off.
See, but I just felt like when you watch that sack, Lloyd even puts his arms out where it's like, hey, I'm not enforcing my
pile driving.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't pile drive him.
But then I also think because is the rule to protect the to help the quarterback out?
Absolutely.
Then throw the flag on Devin Lloyd when he hit him out of bounds, even though it was bang bang.
I know it.
So to me, that was the refs going, okay, we may have got that Lloyd sack, or that hit wrong. So let's go ahead and give him one.
That's interesting.
Because to me, if I'm the NFL, I have a hard time justifying giving Lloyd the flag on that one play on the sack or whatever, and then on the hit that was maybe or maybe not out of bounds, but where he clearly ill intent.
He drilled him. Yeah.
And then you pull the flag.
Yeah.
Are you protecting quarterbacks or what? You don't even know what you're doing.
I think that's more the defenseless versus not defenseless.
Hey, it's whatever, man.
I get it.
They don't know what they're doing.
It's hard. I think it's hard. I wasn't as mad as everybody else was about that one on Lloyd. I will say this about the Jags, and it feels like the Jags don't get calls, and obviously everybody's got their goggles on. I thought the Jags got 3 huge breaks in that game. One was that one, the officiating call, because so many times just out of the look of that, I don't care. The fact that they overturned that on the quick replay, the assist, was amazing.
I was shocked.
I couldn't believe it. It's one of the most amazing things I've seen in 18 years covering the Jags, that they would change that call. No, serious, they don't change that call. You don't change that call. You don't in the league. You just don't change that call on a quarterback.
I know.
So I couldn't believe it that they changed it. And it was a huge play. They ended up punting on that instead of maybe kicking a field goal. And speaking of field goals, dude misses a 33-yard kick. And before that, the play right before, free runner in the end zone, Brissett throws it to the first row.
Yeah.
So, those are plays where you never want to look at, the Jags never get a break. Jags never get a break. It's like, they got 3 really big breaks in that game, in my opinion. Now, they might have got some bad ones, too, but they got 3 really big breaks. That's a touchdown in a lot of games from Brissett, which then makes it, I think, a 21-10 game. The kicker had made 10 field goals in a row, and then he pushed that one. And then that 15-yarder would have been another field goal. And in that game, obviously, the field goal makes a difference. So those are the things that happen. I think the Jags have had some breaks this year at times. I think they've also been some bad calls. I thought there was pass interference coming on the last play.
Oh, yeah.
I was shocked.
It was really well played, but I thought it was pass interference anyway coming just because. How about that? Why did they go for it?
I want to see the
Cardinals,
all 22, but it seemed like the far side receiver on the bottom of the screen, TV copy, was also wide open.
Oh, you're talking about in the last play?
Yeah.
He was
right, and I don't.
Yeah, but
ran
for
out of the
for 10 yards. Yeah, I know.
He looked like coverage bust type open.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Dewey have
no. I think the Jaguars are playing off coverage again.
No, because I know Dewey was supposed to be on that side of the field, so he was running kind of into Dewey's. But if he's looking at Weaver, I believe, was the intended receiver. If he looks at him and Dewey takes one step that way, this guy on the near side sideline, Dewey couldn't have been 15 yards close to him.
I didn't get they could have easily converted the first down. I saw that too. Why they went for the home run shot, no idea. But
hey, counting on a PI.
I actually asked Dewey this after the game, not on camera. I was just like, "Were you surprised?" I said the same thing. I was like, "Were you surprised they went for the home run?" It was like they got the look. They had one-on-one.
Yeah, that's
with Braswell.
That's what they said in the broadcast too.
They got a good look for it. Braswell did a good job, and then He was kind of funny. I forget what he
Dude,
said.
he's like, and then I had to do my all-pro nature, and I had to go and do my thing.
It was like, yeah, they didn't expect me to be there probably or something like that. But he was having fun with it. But he made a nice close on that play.
Because Antonio
really
did
nice
bite on that button hook, which is like smart because you're playing the sticks.
I think Cohen addressed this in the first. I didn't hear the question, but I think that was the quick ask right off the top of the news conference. And he said something like, well, I think if he just does a 3-step drop, he's probably got the play on Braswell.
Yes.
But he takes a bigger drop, which allows the play to develop more, kind of,
It gives Dewey time.
It felt like all that. I think that's kind of what he was saying. I don't want to misinterpret it, but I feel like he's like, well, they might have got us on that play if on 3-step drop he gets rid of it. But he didn't. So, and probably because of the pressure that they were under a lot of the day, So, hey, heck, I got another thing.
Real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Since we're talking about the overtime period and everything, the last play, I definitely shared Calais Campbell's enthusiasm when he goes, "Wow," because what? And you said this before for the Raiders game. Why do they get the ball first, or why do they like to get the ball first?
Yeah, first of all, I love that moment. That's pretty cool for us that have covered. It's Josh and Calais right there. Thought that was pretty cool. And so Calais, you're right. He was like, "Why did they take the ball?" Right. So the explanation
there's two reasons.
In the Raiders game. Really, this comes down to one explanation, in my opinion. The defenses are tired, and so they don't want to give a chance to defense to catch their breath at all. And in the Raiders game, they justified it with our hope was to go have a long drive, which they did, score a touchdown, and give them one opportunity almost in a speed-up situation, which they did. The Raiders got the ball back with like 2.5 minutes to go, so they couldn't do a methodical drive. They almost had to play a 2-minute offense in that situation to go score a touchdown, which, by the way, the Raiders didn't handle it. But their thinking was, let's take the football, the higher defense, we go march down the field. We want to chew up clock and have a long, sustained drive. Well, interestingly enough, in this game, the way he kind of justified it was, once again, tired defense. But if we kick a field goal, they kick a field goal, we'll get the extra possession to be able to go have a chance to win the game. And I think probably Gannon in Arizona were thinking the same thing that he said maybe from the Raiders game, long sustained drive. And what do right away? They come out, throw a 25-yarder to Parker Washington, and it's more like, no, let's go get points.
Yeah, that's the levels.
So we can have the football back in case this ends up tied. We'll get the bonus possession. So I really think it's predicated on a tired defense, Austin, putting them right back out there. But I think the logic to me is really more sound in the Arizona game, where if you do end up field goal, you then can go get an extra possession. So you get 2, the other team only gets 1.
I think I'm thinking of this way too of an elementary level, and maybe something's going over my head. Why is it that much of a shock? I get that most people would want to take the ball second, but I'm confused of why it's this big of a deal. Why Calais is acting like that? I think it's awesome that he did, but it's like 100% or 100 times out of 100 times you're supposed to take the ball second. Why is that the prevailing thought?
Because then you know exactly what you need.
I get it.
Like that's but that's the advantage.
Of course,
like that's
but
that's
is that all?
That's the I mean, think about it.
100 times out of 100?
With what?
Like, as in, people think that you should take the ball second 100 times out of 100.
Sure.
That there's no scenario. That's how Calais reacted.
Well, that's how. I mean, that's honestly that's how I kind of think about it too. Because like if I'm a team, I would much rather take it second because then I know exactly what I need to do. Like in that situation for the Arizona Cardinals, okay, you can either kick a field goal and tie, or you can go for the win. Like, I think when you go out first, you're at a disadvantage because you don't know, like, yeah, obviously the name of the game is to try to score a touchdown and put, the other team, obviously. But, like, I would much rather be in the position of where I can control the game. Because if you score a touchdown, then Arizona goes, who said they don't go for 2 and try to win the football game? And then maybe you lose.
Yep.
If you give it to them first, they're not going for 2. Right? So I just think you have a lot more power and you know exactly what you need to do in going 7. It's going, second. And I would much rather have that control as opposed to saying, okay, well, we go down, score, and then they score, and we have a chance to score again. Like,
I
don't play that game.
I get it. I totally get it. But I do think we're not used to, this is a somewhat new overtime situation. 10-minute clock, both teams get the football. And I really think this is a smart play because more so for the bonus possession opportunity. I think there's a real chance you could get field goal, and then you get another chance to go win the football game. So you get two, they get one.
Yeah.
And I do get the whole idea of tired defense because that goes back to the old way. Remember it was, hey, whoever wins the coin flip's going to win the game because the defense is exhausted. Well, that's why we got these rules now changed, but you still want to take advantage of a tired defense.
But then why is it in college football, do they always elect to go second?
Because this
even
is
though
where
the defense is tired.
This is where I think is the difference. It's a 25-yard field,
right?
And there's no clock.
Right.
So you don't factor in clock at all, and you're not talking about a whole field driving. You're talking about a red zone situation. So I don't think it factors in as much. I think that's why we have to. We're so used to that, where it's like I want to see what the other team does. And again, I get the logic there, but I think the logic actually is more has more weight in actually taking the football.
Do you think if the Raiders scored that 2-point conversion, which they could have, would the Jaguars do it again? And
I think so.
Have to go for okay.
I do think so. Yeah, I do think so. And I get that, Austin. I really do. I understand your point. I just think also you're saying, hey, we went down and scored in the Raiders game, right? What were we mad about in the Raiders game? All right, defense, make a play. You just got to keep them out of the end zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're up 7. Keep them out of the end zone in 2.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a field goal. I thought actually his overtime stuff was really right. I'm glad he didn't go for it. I thought he was going to maybe go for it. And
that would have been a disaster.
That would have been what, 4th and?
It would have been 4th and 3 or something, I think it was. And I was like, don't do this. Bring him out. And by the way, that's a clutch kick for Cam, man. Again, that field concerned me. If you go back and look, it was torn up. And I thought he did a great job with that kick. He nailed it. So,
but once again, I think it's trusting your defense too, where you didn't go for it. And you're like, okay, we'll kick a field goal here, and we trust our defense can stop them, and the defense stepped up.
Yeah,
right.
Good point. Yeah,
but it's crazy how your philosophy changes in the game.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
when you decide to go for it and not kick it, and then it changes in overtime.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd want to see if Tim Patrick was going to waltz into the end zone or if a safety.
He wasn't going to. He wasn't going to.
I didn't.
No, he was. It was just going to be like a first down.
I see.
It looked more, but I watched it this morning, and there's a guy that's going to get him,
top.
Especially once he turns around and catches a football.
Right.
You know,
it's not in stride.
Yeah. Wow. All right. We got to get a break. Is it fair? Two guys I want to talk about. Is it fair to say the Jags 85 was better than the Cardinals 85?
Oh.
Ooh.
And back to Parker Washington for a moment. Seriously, is he the best return man in the game right now? We'll be back. Brent and Austen Show. Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University. Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Colts Hilly, Hilliard High School. Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
All right. Here's what we got. I got a big one tonight. I need San Francisco to beat Carolina.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you got that easily.
Hence all the question marks.
Easily. Nothing's easy.
San Fran to beat Carolina, I feel like they got
Feel good
that.
about that?
Yeah.
You apparently missed by an assist.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That's what Hamby was saying.
You didn't even look?
No, man. On the, I forgot the player. Oh, the guy from Miami.
Davion Mitchell?
Yeah. So
He
he
had
had
6.
6, right?
And you
had
needed
6.5. Then what happened for my college football one?
You lost Cal.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't even close. Yeah, Oregon, Oklahoma did well for me, and then, yeah, that Cal game. Yeah, hey, you know what? At least their coach got fired after it. I feel a lot better about it now.
Hamby won. Casey won. He's on the board. And so, again, mine would be a big one, I think, to put us in good shape for next week, which will be the final one of the month. And we'll do that this week, Wednesday. So we got a shrunk down week.
It's a fun slate.
Yeah, it's a lot of Fridays and obviously the Thanksgiving games. The Cowboys coming back in that game make things interesting now.
Yeah.
In that spot.
So we're doing our bets Wednesday? Is that the plan?
We'll do it Wednesday.
Okay.
I feel like in recent years, the Thanksgiving days, obviously you watch them because what else are you going to do? But they haven't been good. This year, they look really good. You got the Cowboys and the Chiefs. You got the Packers and Lions. I mean, that division is just about as up for grabs as any. And then you got the Bengals and the Raiders, a potential Joe Burrow return. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's about everything you could ask for on a Thursday.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
Bears Eagles on Friday as well. That's a 3:00 kick.
That's right. That's
in the smack dab of all the rivalry week football. That's Friday in college football
and shopping.
And shopping.
And potentially, I guess, shopping.
Do we have an update on the team picks?
We do.
Gonna bring those up.
I was gonna wait for that.
That's not necessary.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, we did not do well in the college ones. I don't think. And then we lost the Rams. Oh, we actually went 3. Wow, you went 5-1.
Yeah.
Oh, that was on the strength of the college, right?
Keep climbing.
Because our dumb A's wanted to pick Florida.
Yeah, I was surprised they laid an egg like that.
Just be happy that the Chiefs got you one at the last
When I
second.
say our, I mean you.
You guys had the Colts?
Yeah, we had the Colts.
Yeah, they were just
Oh, Hamby, I was getting ready to say if because I was pretty. I figured the Jaguars are going to win now. Didn't know it was going to look like that. And then I was pretty confident with the Rams. I was getting ready to text you during that Colts first half, like, hey, when we run the table here, I don't want like the Oregon team. I want the 72 Dolphins logo, and then I want the 96 Bulls logo when we go 6-0. Okay. But unfortunately, the Colts couldn't get it done.
You had it planned.
Me and Casey had it all planned.
Your mind on a weekend.
Me and Casey had it all planned. Yeah.
This is, by the way, our best collective week, maybe of the season.
Oh, hands down, hands down.
And just Hamby, we're like the Jags in the fourth quarter of the Houston game. We have been sucking.
I just want you to remember, come Wednesday when we make our picks, that if there's a college football one, that I'm getting the veto.
Yeah, you did a good job with the one. What was the one game that you picked? And I thought, it was Missouri.
It was Missouri, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Hamby wanted
but
Oklahoma.
I thought you wanted we wanted the Gators. I thought
you wanted the Gators.
You wanted the Gators.
You said go back to that. You were like, I think trends play, and
Hamby was going back and forth and not making decisions, so Brent made a decision for him.
You didn't let me get to my point. I was
did.
never going to bet on DJ Lagway. That was my prevailing point.
Hamby, but to be fair, when he picked Florida, you didn't stop him. You're like, that's fine.
Well, I knew I was at that point.
What was the other game? Oh, Oregon.
Oregon, we lost.
That one could have gone either way. We could have got a backdoor cover there.
Yeah, that was back and forth a little bit.
Come on.
Did you watch the game? Come on.
Did you see the whole my guy Lincoln Riley go off on the reporter?
Dude, like as much as I know you hate Lincoln Riley, like I think that's kind of deserved.
Well, here's the deal. It's you're right. It was a little goofy. It was goofy. But you get that a little bit in today. Well, we all do it. This is not me.
Yeah, I heard it.
But the kid's he's a 24-year-old freelance reporter, and he made a mistake on the question, where it came from. What do you mean?
I know it's a mistake. I don't think you can just pass it by as you can't ask that. You've got to know. I mean, he's my age.
And I guarantee you, I'll put you in some situations that I don't think you're going to know. Yeah, it was the whole sign.
Yeah,
It was the whole what?
He used the sign to ask.
Sign thing.
I actually thought the nature of the question was pretty interesting. It's the fact that he used the sign to get to the question. The question was, do you think people basically are afraid of you as the head coach at USC? And are people afraid of USC? But he did it based off the sign at College Game Day. And I think actually the nature of the question isn't that terrible. Because are people afraid of USC? Used to be afraid of USC at one time. Not afraid of USC.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Lincoln Riley is in a position of power, especially in that college world. You do get a lot of younger journalists in any way. And I just don't think you just like to see Lincoln Riley take the higher road. I believe in this spot, and even if he didn't like the question, maybe that's wishful thinking on my part, but it's not like this was a 50-year-old reporter who'd been doing this for 3 decades. It's a young kid, and probably not the best question.
What are your thoughts on the fact that losing fan base are not being like factoring the coach by seeing since they don't view it as a factor now?
All right, let me paraphrase.
Yeah.
So he says there is a sign on College Game Day, which was obviously at Oregon, where an Oregon fan sign said #extend Lincoln Riley. So what are your thoughts, or what can you say about the fact that Oregon fans want you to continue being the coach at USC?
And then also extend the contract, right? He said?
Right.
Like, how do you feel like they want to extend your contract?
Right.
Yeah.
That might be the dumbest question I've been asked as long as I've been a head coach, and I've been asked a lot of questions. You ought to feel a little embarrassed to ask that question. This is a professional thing. You ought to try it.
I don't think that's that bad.
I don't think it's bad, dude. Like
he could have done worse. He could have
because it was to me it was a smart ass question.
Smart ass question.
And like a smart ass question is going to get an embarrassing response.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever heard. I think there's other guys that have belittled before, and I don't like Lincoln Riley. So,
hey, how about on the other side?
So I'm going to side with the kid.
I'm a fan of Dan Lanning as Georgia's DC. But after the game, they asked him, and he goes on this kind of long-winded answer about, well, we didn't play. I don't know who he said, but he was making a scheduling comment about the committee that Georgia played Charlotte and Alabama played East Tennessee State or whoever it was. And it's like, well, Dan, I mean, your first 4 opponents have a combined like 3 wins on the year.
Yeah.
And I mean, the best of the first 4 were Oregon State.
And that's
so
I'd love to see Oregon State take on Samford. That'd be a battle.
Hey, by the way, Oklahoma State took UCF to the frickin' brink.
Yeah.
Oh boy. But anyway, it was like, damn, like you're better than that. You're smarter than that. You're not saying that Oregon, not trying to take anything away from them, but I don't think this is the year necessarily that you want to get into a scheduling battle conversation when that was your first top 25 win of the year.
Yeah.
That's just the fact.
Yeah,
that's your first ranked win of the year.
I think
maybe your
these guys
team's
are
really
insane.
good, maybe it's not, but
I think
not
that's
the
a
year
great
for this.
illustration of a guy like with blinders on, lives in his own bubble, his own world, and it's like, dude, have a little. To me, that's like Trevor fumbling at his own 7-yard line. Like you got to have an awareness of time and space, man.
Montana
look what
State.
you scheduled.
Yeah.
Montana State, Oklahoma State. Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State were their first 4 games, and then they
I think
beat
somebody said
Penn State in overtime.
I think somebody had a good quote on this. It's probably something from the SEC, but it was like while Texas was playing Ohio State and Miami's playing Notre Dame, they were playing Montana State.
Yeah,
and look,
like
Oregon normally plays really good out of conference to start the year. They normally play Georgia. I mean, they played back-to-backs against Georgia, and they've done it before. This year,
Here's the other thing for me, man. If you got to make a case for yourself in a 12-team playoff,
well, that's a great point.
End of the story. Like,
Yeah.
if you've got to make a case for yourself, then let the chips fall where they may. If you got to make a case for yourself in the Final Four, like when it was 4, that's different.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do.
But to make your, I guess you're right. He's trying to
get that
bump
first
up to
round
the
bye.
4 seed.
Yeah.
But I just, I mean, listen, we got 12 teams in there. Getting that first round bye is probably not the time to pull out who we're playing.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
But hey, this is part of college football. Speaking of just a couple of things real quick in college football, one more. Mike Norvell back. Like, I do not know why this is. It's news because they issued a statement on it. When you got to put a statement out about it, it becomes newsy, and it's like you thought about it, right, and everything else. You can think about it all you want. Mike Norvell was never leaving this year. They can't afford it.
Cannot.
And by the way, this is the other thing. This is where I actually think the Gators, the Noles, get a break. It's a bit of a terrible cycle.
Yeah,
You're not in the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes.
No.
And so if that,
it would just be Jimbo.
It would be Jimbo, or it would have been James Franklin.
Yes.
So you're getting rebounds regardless, and not an up and comer, not an arrow. And again, listen, Mike Norvell, if this contract was $25 million to buy out, he'd be gone.
Right. Yeah.
Probably gone. Like, he hasn't done enough. And it's the same old stuff. I like Mike Norvell. I thought he was going to be really good. He hasn't been. We'll see if he can fix it. But I think it is in actually the best interest of Florida State in this cycle to bring him back anyway.
Guys, it actually just it came up on my Twitter. We interviewed him on May 3rd of 2024.
Who's we?
This show. We had him on.
Oh, yeah, we had him.
Well, what's happened since then? May of last year?
Well, that would
Friend
been
of the show.
May of last. Oh yeah, before that season, right? That would have been coming off the really good season.
Yes, right. It was a couple months right after DJU.
Yeah, listen, they hadn't got this transfer portal right, and now they say they're going to put infrastructure around.
We screwed you.
Yeah, they're bad. They're just that's a terrible loss to NC State too. They've had so many bad losses. They're just so irrelevant. I mean, the Florida football outside against Miami.
Beat
It's
Bama.
so irrelevant, man. Yeah, it's crazy they beat Bama.
Beat Bama.
It is crazy they beat Bama. It's crazy they beat Bama, and I don't think Texas is really good at all. I think they're super overrated, but it's crazy that Florida beat Texas.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's nuts that Florida beat Texas and Florida State beat Alabama because, quite frankly, I think they don't both struggle with Montana State.
Fair. Yes.
It's just unreal. Hey, let's get back to the Jags real quick. Our Republic Services recycled headlines of the day, recyclingsimplified.com. Don't forget recyclingsimplified.com/holiday to learn how to recycle around the holidays, especially with your tree or anything else around this holiday season. Check out recyclingsimplified.com/holiday. And listen, the Jags get a huge win. We know that. That is the big headline. Jags are right there in the mix with Houston and Indianapolis. I think I teased this and never said it, so let's do it right now. And who do you want to win next week? Houston or Indianapolis? Who do you think is best for the Jags to win, knowing the schedule? You just saw everything and where the schedule lies. What's better for the Jags? I feel like, I'll help you out. I feel like Indy winning is better at the moment to kind of stop some of Houston's momentum, which would get them to 6-6 and then potentially 6-7, and force them into like almost a win every game type of
There it is.
situation. At least the Jags are not going to be 6-7 this year. We don't have to worry about that.
My son would go absolutely insane.
It'd be the greatest week for the kids around here
He'd
of
be
all
going
time.
Nuts. Yeah.
Who knew that being maybe 8-5 is worse than being 6-7?
It's really the saving grace. Yes.
But I think you want Indy to win.
Same. Yeah. Same. Because you play Indy twice. So if you're hungry, you want to beat them twice. By all means, you can still win the division. But I don't like keeping Houston around. So I would much rather try to put a dent in their momentum and just kind of say, hey, this is a 2-dog race. We'll see you guys later. And, please go home.
Hamby?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think you do need to stop Houston's momentum because I'd much rather count on the Seahawks and 49ers than the Cardinals or even the Chargers right now. So if we're looking down the stretch at teams that we'd be rooting for to beat both of these teams, I'd rather put my chips in on the Seahawks and the Niners than Cardinals and L.A. And I mean, anything can happen if you get hot, right? And the Colts winning and beating the Texans doesn't make them hot. You know, it's a normal game they're supposed to win, but the Texans can win again. Just beat the Bills. You beat the Bills and the Texans, the Bills and the Colts back-to-back weeks. Then that's really something.
By the way, the Colts are 6-0 at home, which is pretty incredible. Just other games of note. The Chiefs obviously play the Cowboys, which is a little bit of resurgence for the Cowboys. Gives you a little hope the Chiefs could get knocked off in that game.
Then they'd really be done.
And then the Chargers play the Raiders, so they're going to win, coming off a bye week. The Bills and Steelers play each other, so somebody's losing there. The Ravens really look like they're in the driver's seat now to go get the AFC North, right?
Steelers look done.
Washington Broncos play at the Commanders, which I don't really think the Broncos are a factor right now for the Jags. So you got the Texans and Colts. One of them's losing, and then you also have the Steelers and who did I say?
Steelers
the
and Bills.
One of those guys are losing. So if you're looking at it big picture, I don't know who you really want in that Steelers-Bills
Maybe
game.
you want the Steelers if you don't really believe in them long term, just to get that one win.
Yeah,
that would put the Jags over the Bills.
Yeah, because right now in the standings, the Jaguars are in 6th place. They moved up to 6th. but they lose, even though they beat the Chargers, and I know some people wrestle with this, that because the Chargers, Jags, and Bills are all 7-4, it goes to a three-way tie. It's not a head-to-head thing at all. It's just right into the three-way tie, and the Chargers have a 6-2 conference record. The Jags have a 4-2 conference record. So the Chargers have played more games, therefore have a better winning percentage, therefore are fifth. The Bills are 4-3 in conference. That's why they're seventh, and the Jags have moved ahead of them. Okay. So if, ironically enough, and again, this is not going to shake out this way after the next couple of weeks, but the Jags would play at the Colts if the season were to end today. What's really wild in my eyes is you have three teams, 8, 9, and 10, Steelers, Texans, Chiefs at 6 and 5. The Chiefs are in 10th. So now there are 10 teams in this equation. We thought at one time earlier in the year there would be 9 teams, but then the Ravens came back to life, and so did Houston. Mm-hmm. So one of those two teams came back and made it a thing. But we will see. We will see how it shakes out. There's a lot of teams playing each other that's going to beat this thing up. Just keep an eye on the conference record. That conference record really factors in. And right now, all the good teams actually have good conference records. The Patriots, the Broncos, the Colts, the Chargers are all 6-2 in conference. The Steelers and Texans are 5-2 in conference. The Jaguars are 4-2, and the Ravens, Bills 4-3. The one team that's not good in conference, the Chiefs, 3-4, which means they are going to lose every tiebreaker if there is a tie, unless that turns around.
How about this, guys? The point differential for the Chiefs is plus 76. For the Texans, it's plus 61. For the Jags, just plus 17.
Oh, yeah, because of the big win over the Chargers. How about the Bears? Oh. The Bears have 8 wins, and there's -3.
Holy cow.
They're 8-3 with a -3 point differential. I think I saw that.
Betting against them, and it keeps not working.
So that's pretty wild. I mean, again, just a wacky NFL, which we know. Okay. 2 guys, Brent and Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I thought McBride got off to a heck of a start, and then after that, I thought the Jags did a really nice job on him.
Yeah.
For the rest of the game. First quarter, maybe not so, but after that, I thought really good. I mean, listen, Trey McBride's a heck of a football player.
Yes.
But this is not a knock on him. This is more of a, damn, I think Brent Strange is really good. I thought he was just as good as their 85, if not better, on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's comparable. You know, like, you have to go back and watch the film just to see, and maybe this is more of a question for Strange, because I can't tell. Like, on the one fumble from Trevor, I'm not sure if that's Strange's fault or if it's Trevor's fault.
Yeah,
because
you said that, yeah.
He's, like I said, he's either supposed to block a lot longer or he's supposed to have that quick release because it was a quick pass. Nevertheless, turnover happened, and then on the other play, the Buda Baker sack, Strange doesn't trip him at all, which I thought, once again, I'm not sure if Strange didn't see him, but I feel like you got to chip him there. And it was obviously a sack on Trevor Lawrence, which is a big play. So I think outside of those 2 plays, yeah, I mean, Strange had, he was good.
He's so reliable and trustworthy. I don't know what, Hamby, look this one up if you can. And I know he's obviously missed some games. But what's his target to catch ratio?
Who's that? Strange?
Strange.
All right.
It's got to be incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And which means, hey, by the way, that's a nice job dialing up plays at the right time. He's open. Like when they throw it to him, he's like really open. Well, Glenn, don't think McBride can go vertical like Kittle can. Yeah, I don't think he's like a super vertical guy, but he can. I mean, Bowers is way more that, and Kittle probably more that. McBride's a little more possession. Even if you look up the numbers, I think it's 71 catches, 770, which is like a 10, per catch. But that's still good.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about the Brenton Strange stuff. It's 5 catches for like 90-something yards, which means he's catching it at 20 a clip. What's he got?
25 for 29.
Yeah.
86%, 12-yard average.
He's a safety blanket.
Yeah, and obviously the numbers are going to be I mean, I think he might have been looking at a Pro Bowl season without the injury.
Yeah, I think he's looking at 75 catches for 800 yards.
Which, by the way, I shouldn't say that because, I mean, it's hard to make the Pro Bowl.
Well,
as a tight end in the AFC.
Well, you got Warren. I mean, I don't know what Warren's numbers are.
But great. Warren and
Kelsey,
Bowers,
and
Kelsey That's
I mean,
tough.
just from a popularity vote for Kelsey.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the point
Hunter
is
Henry, actually.
like, hey,
Oh,
yeah,
he
Hunter
is
Henry.
doing his thing too.
Hey,
Okay, so maybe he's not making the Pro Bowl then. Sorry.
No, he wouldn't have been anyway. But I think he was playing at that level. Like I think if he has the whole season, he's playing at that level, and that's really the point here. This was a second-round draft pick that a lot of people did criticize coming up because it took a while to develop. It did. It has, but it looks like it's really paying off. Like how good as a player is he? Like is he a star for years to come at 24 years old?
I mean, I think that's the way you got to look at him because very rarely do you have a guy that's that reliable in the receiving game and also is a willing blocker, not only just to be a finesse type of dude, but actually enforce his will and blow people back. You know, I mean, it's the Mercedes Lewis effect. So, yeah, I mean, number one, he's got a chance to be a staple here for a long time, I feel like, and this is a guy that you're going to build your team around. But in terms of the NFL as a whole, yeah, I think he has the ability to be one of the most dependable tight ends in the National Football League.
Yeah, it seems like it. The other guy is Parker Washington. I asked you guys this, and I can't rip off names either, probably. But it feels like to me he's the best return guy in the game right now. Punt return guy.
And much to my chagrin, dismay, I watched the Titans game a little bit just to see what we're working with. I think DK, they're saying with him, I think he leads the league in punt return average?
Does he?
And
DK does.
And he just got the second touchdown, yeah.
So Marvin Mims leads the league in total yards. It doesn't have the best average.
For the Broncos?
Yes, Marvin Mims Jr. Parker is second in punt return yards. 17.2 average on 18 returns. That puts him in top 5 for average.
Okay.
And then DK.
It's like 20-something, isn't it?
24-yard average, only on 12 returns.
Oh, 12 returns.
But he does kickoffs, too. Because, yeah, they highlighted him during the game.
How many returns for Parker?
18. So he's actually second in average, second in yards.
And they each have 2 touchdowns?
And, yes, they both have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, it's up for debate. But
Well, yeah, so it's in the conversation.
Absolutely.
But that's one guy you got to watch, though, next week.
I think if you ask the normal person, they'd say Shaheed's up there. Dortch, even, that we just obviously played yesterday. Didn't do a whole
Turpin
lot.
in
but
Dallas, is he just kicks or is
I
he
think
punt
he's
return?
just kicks. I don't see him on this list.
Okay.
Oh, Duvernay's on the list.
Listen, I just think that part is super underrated. Remember 2 years ago, for a while, they had Agnew was tremendous.
Yeah,
He was tremendous. And he really was dynamic in that part of the game. And I thought, for a while there, he was the highlight reel for the Jags, like in 2020 and 2021, or 21, I'm sorry, and part of 22. He was so reliable. Then they added to the passing game all the other stuff. But, that's who they have now with Parker Washington, probably a better receiver. I would say definitely a better receiver than Agnew. That's more his trade. But I asked him yesterday, it's like, it just looks like he's in a zone. Like every time he touches it, it feels like it's going to go, or at least close. The way they sealed off the one on the long return, even though it wasn't a touchdown, was tremendous.
Yeah,
and keep in mind, he got one call back too. He had another one where it felt that was a bad call.
Or no, Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, but it was another loss. Was it maybe it was Cincinnati. Who the Jags lose to this year so far? Cincy, Seattle, Rams, Houston. That's it. Maybe it was Cincinnati. Got that block remember the block in the back?
Yeah. I think it was I don't know.
Gosh, it seems like it wasn't that long ago, but Cincinnati seems like a lifetime ago to me. But anyway, I go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. I really feel like right now, this offense, Trevor, the Jaguars have some trust in players. Etienne, Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers. Even on offense, you get a guy like Hainsey. Heck, I think Cole Van Lanen continues to play pretty well overall. I think he had some bad moments yesterday, but also overall pretty good. Like, there's confidence in this football team. There's trust in this football team. And I think that's good for the quarterback, good for the coach. Now I think what we would all love to see is just full confidence in the quarterback.
Yeah.
that the good's going to happen more than what the bad happened yesterday, and not even, but 3 times as much good versus the not so good, because that's the nature of the position. There's going to be not good in the position. So we'll see if we get that down the stretch. But I do think his confidence in those other guys certainly should help his play. We just have not seen that a lot in Jacksonville. You can't name that many guys on an offense in Jacksonville over the last however many years where you could trust it. And I think right now they're in a bit of a trust phase, which is fantastic. And I don't know if even if you get Brian Thomas Jr. back, you feel that way. I don't think you feel that way about him. But I do think he can help you running down the road a little bit, and stretching defense.
Got to take the top off.
You need somebody to do it.
Got to.
And I think they could really use that.
If you got to be a decoy, just be a decoy,
just
man.
Be a decoy,
just say, hey, Brian Thomas Jr., we're doing the 40 in, 4-3, very cool. Hey, check this out. Run as fast as you can down the field a couple times.
Yeah, I think they need some of that, for sure. Hey, tomorrow we're going to be on the road. Let me tell you about it a little bit. Maybe get a heads up how you can help. Josh Hines Allen is going to host a blood drive in honor of his son, Wesley. And you can check out oneblood.org and how you can help. We're going to be out at Southern Grounds on that Atlantic Boulevard. So it'll be kind of an all-day type event, 8 a.m. until 2 p.m., where you can donate blood. And part of his 4-1 For All Foundation. You can check out oneblood.org and how you can get involved and be a part of it. And again, we'll be over there tomorrow for the show from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. We'll be right back. Brent and Austen Show on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jax 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing is taking their 75-plus years of expertise and expanding to CGC Home Services. Water treatment and plumbing is still a big part of what they do, and now they can do even more for you. Home services like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, showers, sinks, faucets, toilet repair, backflow testing, and the list keeps going. Find all they can do at cgchomeservices.com or give them a call, 904-298-7052. It's a new look and a new name with the same expertise. They've been serving homes like yours since 1946. CGC Home Services, right here in Jacksonville off St. John's Bluff Road, 904-298-7052. And visit cgchomeservices.com. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to our left side. Takes a shot. And into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant, or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet. Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table. Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Hey, welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Don't forget our Mason's Lobster, Mason's famous lobster rolls, masonslobster.com. Spreads of the week will be a little bit earlier this week on Wednesday. We'll also cram in our picks and wagers and everything else in a short week. We won't have a show Thursday and Friday, so happy Thanksgiving week to everybody out there. And once again, we will be out at Southern Grounds with Josh Hines Allen hosting a blood drive tomorrow at Atlantic Boulevard. I just tweeted out a link where you can sign up for a time to give blood. He's doing this in honor of his son Wesley, of course, who has battled leukemia over the last year. And we followed his story and chronicled his story. So Josh giving back. And a good week for a lot of the Jags and a lot of people in general to give back. You see a lot of events going on around the Jacksonville Jaguars and helping others out here this holiday season. So once again, we'll be out there tomorrow, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. tonight. Jags Report Live. We will have Foye Oluokun on the show.
Nice.
1,000 tackle yesterday. Yeah, you know what's funny is, like, at first I was like, he hasn't hit 1,000 tackles? And he's a tackling machine for like 8 years. And I said, oh, well, actually, you do the math on it. You have a good year if you have even like 140 tackles or 150. You got to play for a while. Yeah. You could tell when we asked him about it, it means a lot to him. He's a dude from Yale who now is one of 59 people in NFL history to have 1,000 tackles in his career, because it shows longevity. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think you're proud of if you're a guy like Foye Oluokun, not to be able to just make it, but to be able to stick. I really think he's playing good the last couple of weeks, too. Some people I see on Twitter and stuff will be, he's really slowing down, and he looks like he's slower. I don't know if I see that as much specifically the last couple of weeks. What do you see out of him?
Yeah, I mean, okay, first of all, like, I think in terms of consistency, he's been pretty solid. There's been a couple plays here or there, like in the run game, where maybe like doesn't fill the hole like he's supposed to, and things like that. But like that, I feel like that's a lot of guys. So like
comes with the position, maybe.
Comes with the position, yeah. So like, has it been perfect? No, but has he been fairly reliable? Yeah. So
again, the linebacking play of the Jags in general has been so much improved. Even Ventrell Miller went in there for a few plays. You said Combs. I missed that part, I guess, when Combs was in there. Was he on special teams?
I guess it was special teams. When I looked back at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But it's amazing how improved their offense. I mean, their linebacking unit is just solely based on Devin Lloyd's play.
Yeah.
Right.
And he had 5 pressures yesterday. Lloyd did.
He had 5 QB hits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, he's playing fast and violent.
That's what he does well.
Maybe too violent at times.
No, yeah, okay. We don't have to go
One
on
of the
that.
plays.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, sure. I mean, I know those videos are out there, but like, I feel like we should do our own like instructional video of how to hit a quarterback, Hamby.
It's interesting you say that because tonight on Jags Report Live, I am going to, one of the things, we've had Foye on shows, but I don't think I've ever really done this with him, is do like the art of tackling and how that's even changed a bit over the years. And so
are you saying you want me to be the QB dummy and you want to make a video of how to sack the quarterback?
Yeah, that would be good.
I certainly won't be the quarterback.
Yeah, you
All
should.
right, I'll do it.
We should do that. That'd be a good way to utilize you. Where do we have to go? We got to go find a mat?
No, man, not at all. Because
I've already been tackled by you. We could have done it there.
We could have done it there. But no, you know my style. This is gonna be more of a smart ass middle finger to the league than it is actually me hitting Hamby. Like I have some like things that we can do, Hamby. Like I won't even tackle you really. It's more of like the dialogue. You know?
Okay, all right.
Hey, quick thought before you're going to get out of here a little bit earlier. What do you make of the rest of the NFL yesterday? I mean, how the Patriots just keep getting it done. I really thought Cincinnati, even without Burrow, were going to get them. And I probably I forgot about the whole Jamar Chase thing. They didn't have Chase either. And maybe if they have Chase, they might have got the Patriots because that last drive.
Yeah,
it feels like you could go to him because didn't Higgins get hurt too in the game?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So got concussion.
Yeah,
and then they had 3 guys in 3 plays get hurt, like 3 plays in a row. Because that guy that me and Casey needed to perform, which he did for me.
What's his name?
Sovich.
Hey, Hamby. You know what his name is? Right? Hey, we're all good. He ain't playing next week. So
Yosevash.
Yeah, Yosevash.
I plug and played him in fantasy at y'all's recommendation, and he plugged in for me.
Oh, see, you're in PPR, aren't you?
Yeah. I think he had 4 catches for 60 yards.
I think he got me like 6 or 7. It wasn't enough, but once again. But we got Gibbs up putting 50 on the table or whatever. We're all good. We're all good, Gibbs. So, what was the question? My bad.
I don't know.
What'd you ask about the NFL? What
Well, yeah, just saying anything. I mean, obviously, you got Eagles lose, but they're going to. It's not like it's going to change their season.
Yeah, panic button though, huh? A little bit.
They just
Saquon ain't. Did you watch Saquon?
Yeah, Saquon is not.
Didn't do anything.
Nah. That's a problem. Like, I get okay, offensive line injuries, all this stuff. Like, what got him there last year was Saquon.
Yeah.
If he can't do it, like, I mean, and once again, I feel about Jalen Hurts, real deal. But like, I don't know if Jalen and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are going to will them to a Super Bowl. Like, I think that they need a heavy dose of Saquon, and for whatever reason, it ain't working right now.
Yeah. So, what do you think it is? Like, I don't buy the he's all of a sudden he goes from 2,000 yards to boom. I mean, we saw Derrick Henry do this, and he's not doing it anymore because he's getting older. But he did it for like 4 or 5 seasons in a row like that. I mean, Saquon Barkley is a younger guy.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that. It's not just wear and tear.
It can't be, I don't think, right? Just people doing a better job against him.
Listen, man, I said it when the season started, and I'll say it again. You relied a lot on Derrick Henry last year, and you relied even more on Saquon Barkley. And both those guys right now are not looking like themselves. I think there is something to be said when you make that guy the bell cow for the previous year. I think it takes some tread off the tires for the following season, and I'll stand by that.
But I get my argument against that, Austin, is the fact that
he'd be able to still go for 80 yards.
I mean, well,
not 20.
Yeah, but not just that. Like, Derrick Henry's been the bell cow for like 8 years. I mean, so he had like bell cow years even at 29 years old and came back and ran for whatever.
He was 21 for 64 yesterday, so.
Yeah, well, I get him a little
Saquon's
bit more.
28,
He's
by the way.
31. I mean, he's going to be 32, Derrick Henry, in January. Like, it makes sense that this thing will start to slow down. To me, Derrick Henry makes a lot of sense. We wondered if it would slow down 2-3 years ago, and to his credit, it didn't. But
it's always that age 29, 30 year.
Absolutely. What do you say? Saquon's 28.
28.
He's 28, like 28, just turned 28.
His
going to be 28 in December.
Is in February.
So he'll be 29
in February.
He's older than I thought. I did not think Saquon was that old. But I guess, Listen, Derrick Henry's abnormal. At 29 years old, running backs do start to fade.
You kind of forget that Saquon had 6 years in New York.
Yeah,
not 4 or 5.
It does not feel like Saquon Barkley is just 3 years younger.
Yeah, this is year 8.
Than Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And maybe this is more of a just unbelievable Derrick Henry, that he was able to still do it at 28, 29, 30, 31.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it is surprising to see. I mean, he ran for nothing. He's running for like 2 points. I think I saw a stat. Somebody had it on NFL Network, I think yesterday I was watching in the morning. And it's like 64 yards less a game than he had last year, which is like one of the biggest drop-offs ever. For all-purpose wise, I think that yardage was.
All right, I'm curious to look at to see these running backs and everything who had the most attempts last year, who was relied on the most. Saquon Barkley had the most attempts last year. How's he doing right now?
Not good.
Derrick Henry had the second most. How's he doing?
Not good.
Kyron Williams had the third most. How's he doing?
I don't know, but I'm going to assume
I haven't heard much about him.
Look it up.
Throwing the football.
Yeah, they're not really using him. Plus, they're using the Blake Corum.
Yeah, they're right. It's like
I mean, Bijan Robinson, I feel like he's doing pretty well, right? He's doing solid.
He's eating.
Jonathan Taylor had 303 last year. He's obviously the best running back in the league. And then right behind him was Josh Jacobs and Najee Harris.
But we looked up.
Jacobs is not doing very well.
I mean, they're using
Najee. Wait, say that one more time.
Najee Harris had 263 attempts last year. That was good for seventh in the NFL.
Wow. Yeah.
And then Tony Pollard was 8th with 260 attempts. How's Tony Pollard doing?
Not good.
There you go.
Pollard's in Tennessee still?
Yeah, we're going to see him Sunday.
Yep.
Is he? I don't even.
We're all good. Yeah,
Nothing, right?
We're all good.
Yeah. They've made some really interesting moves over the
Chuba
years.
Hubbard was 11th, 250. How's he doing?
Lost his job.
Yep. But again,
there are a couple guys, and I think age comes in a little bit. Like Jonathan Taylor's now, is 26? And we do this a couple weeks ago. He's only 26 years old. So he's like right in the prime, and he's backing up.
So here's the thing. Out of the 10, there's 10 guys who, in terms of attempts, 10 guys. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Najee Harris, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones Sr. now, and DeAndre Swift. Out of those 10 guys who led the leagues in carries last year, how many of those guys would you consider top 10 running backs this season?
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, I do think this goes back again. Derrick Henry has clouded our judgment on running backs. It used to be 28, 29 years old, get rid of them.
Yep.
And now it's Derrick Henry. Wait a minute, there's Derrick Henry. So this kind of goes back full circle. Travis Etienne, who, by the way, is 26, will be 27 at the start of the year.
He's 10th right now in terms of attempts, by the way, 169.
And
right up there with Josh Jacobs.
This is why from a business standpoint, you ask yourself, he will be 27 when he plays next year. If you did sign him to a 3-year contract, 27, 28, 29, that might be great.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Will
might
he sign that?
But I don't know. Maybe it's a 4-year deal. It gets to 30, but by the end of the 3rd year, you're out of the deal anyway. You know what I mean? So, but do you make that investment? Like, that's the business side of it, or do you make that investment? And I would say he's earned the investment. But I don't know if you make that as an organization when you have 2 young guys that you also think could be pretty good.
So I think here's an interesting stat, and then I have to get out of here. So literally, Josh Jacobs has 169 attempts. Travis Etienne has 169 attempts. Josh Jacobs has 648 rushing yards. Travis Etienne has 815 yards. So where Josh Jacobs has 3.8 yards per carry, Etienne has him beat by a yard with 4.8 yards per carry. You see how much they love Josh Jacobs in Green Bay and how much they use him and how much that offense rolls through him. And look at what he's making. And look at what Travis Etienne's making and everything like that. Like, to me, that sums it up perfectly.
What does Josh Jacobs make? Do you know? Is it? You can get out of here. We'll do
it's all good.
But it's like, I mean, he didn't get like the $20 million, right? He got like 15 probably. $20 million's like Saquon.
He was 4 years, 48 with the 12.5.
Oh, that's actually pretty reasonable.
So that's good. What is that? 8 point or
12?
12. Okay,
that's reasonable.
12. Yeah, 12 million.
Because again, Saquon got the $20 million payday coming off the year, and Etienne's on a 50-year option, which is probably right about that 10, 11, 12 million, something like that.
So Jacobs in the cap hit, it's 11 $3 this year. The next year goes up to $14.62, and then the following season $16 million.
Okay.
In 2027.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like that doesn't seem outrageous. Like I would pay Josh Jacobs $12 million a year.
Sure.
I would pay Travis Etienne $12 million a year.
Now, would you pay Josh Jacobs $14 million a year next year?
I'm less likely to.
Okay. Well, see, it depends, right? But yeah,
that's the nature of that position, man. It's just really fickle.
And you know how I feel about it, man. I'm going to keep on coming here every single week that I see Travis Etienne perform and be the best thing on offense, saying, going to resign him or not. Because you know how I stand when it comes to your best players. I think you got to keep them.
Here's what's nuts. We love again. Last thought, and I'll leave you with this for you. When we think of a guy who's the best player on your offense, when we think of a guy who might be, you can't do this without him. You think of, look at the stats. Look at the boxer. You gave us some good stats. 4.8. He's on his way to 1,000 yards. What's interesting to me, he's got 2 games this year over 100 yards rushing. That's it.
And he's dependable in the pass game as well. I think LaQuinn Allen yesterday took some steps back in terms of pass protection.
Probably one of his worst games,
And these are your guys, like, once again, I'm not, like, you know how I feel about Travis Etienne. But if the plan is to replace him with LaQuinn Allen then and Tootin next year, like, I'm not sure how confident you are right now based on the sample size.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair argument.
Yeah, so, all right, get out of here. We will continue to talk about the Jags. Let's catch up on a break, actually. Come back, put a bow on the show, talk a little bit more about some of the Jags stuff going on this week. They'll have a normal schedule, by the way, even with Thanksgiving. I think that's interesting. A lot of times teams will change the schedules, and they're just staying with the normal schedule. I mean, they'll be out and can enjoy Thanksgiving in the afternoon and evening, and then they got to weigh in on Friday, too. That's always the tricky part.
These guys are going to be eating.
Yeah, they've eaten, that's for sure. I tell you, there's another guy, Eric Armstead. Think he keeps showing up. Calais Campbell. I didn't get a chance to see him yesterday, which kind of sucks, but I also didn't want to bother him pregame and wasn't down on the field postgame. So the big fella. Nice embrace with Josh Hines Allen as well, and we'll have a little bit of that tonight. We got some video, him and the family, and some sound on Calais we'll have on Jags Report Live. There's the good embrace between 41 and 93. We'll be right back. Welcome inside the Armor Guard Exterior and Gutter Helmet Showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that, we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet is truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
It's one of the hot spots in the area.
Welcome you to String Sports Brewery out at the beach. Big crowd on hand tonight. The fans are here.
And now the newest hot spot at the beach is open. String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach has opened its doors with rave reviews.
We're going to be fans forever.
cozy up to the bar, grab a seat in the sports-themed restaurant, or grab a seat outside and feel that breeze coming off the beach as the weather warms. Just like the original location in Springfield, try the popular beer menu and come for lunch or dinner too, because the food is fantastic.
We got a special guest in the house. He's happy. He's feeling good. He's Trayvon Walker.
It's where we hosted Jags Report Live in the football season, and the String Sports Brewery staff can't wait to host you. Hey, welcome back here to String Sports Brewery. And if you haven't checked out the new location in Jags Beach, you got to do it. String Sports Brewery, now with 2 locations in Springfield and now open in Jags Beach on Penman Road.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
Sun's out, suits out. That's right, it's summertime in Florida, which means it's time to say goodbye to bulking season and hello to shredding season. But if you're like me, you're having a hard time sculpting and shaping those final pounds. That is, until I came and saw my friends over at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Right now, everyone is hopping on the Evolve X train, and the only destination is finding your perfect summer body. The technology uses electrical muscle stimulation and radio frequency energy to cause your muscles to contract, all while heating up those deep layers of your skin and tissue to produce collagen and reduce fat. It's like doing 1,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. No pain, no needles, just results, right? That's right. So leave those winter layers back at the station and come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
In a year and a day and age when almost everybody has at least a 1,000-yard receiver, Jags don't look like they're going to get one this year. Will they even get a 900-yard receiver? We're at 421 with the leader right now, Parker Washington. Going to be a sweat.
They are not. Like, Parker Washington's going to get
300 more yards?
Maybe another 400.
Yeah.
Maybe. Again, you're going to get Brian Thomas Jr. back in the mix.
But how much is he going to get the football?
How much is he going to get it? I would say you're talking about 60, 70 yards a game over 6 games. That's 400. So I guess he could get to 800 if he does have some big plays.
I think you're not going to get a 900-yard receiver that's something of note. Like that's
we said this we were saying this in a break, and you maybe hope Travis Hunter is this. We thought Brian Thomas Jr. might be this. I think it's pretty obvious he's not that. We think maybe Brenton Strange is kind of emerging as something, and they're nobody like this. But my point is the Jags feel like what they're really missing on their roster, and people can go with a lot of different ways here, but what I think they're really missing is the elite game-breaking player on offense. Take, for instance, the Detroit Lions have Jahmyr Gibbs. The dude won him the football game single-handedly.
JSN.
What Jackson Smith and Jigba is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think if Jamar Chase is on the field, Cincinnati beats New England.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong, but I think that. You know what Kansas City's missing? That. They don't have that guy. Kelsey used to be that guy. He's not that guy. So what happens when you don't have that guy is you got to have a lot of things go right. And you're relying on other people that are good because they're in the league, but they're not exceptional, game-breaking, scary players. And let's be honest with you, as good as Myers and Parker Washington have been, and they have been, hats off to them. They're not scary players for defenses. So, and even Etienne, like, I don't think he's not Jahmyr Gibbs scary. So the Jags' best players right now are not making defenses go, oh my goodness.
Right.
Which also makes it easier to defend. And then everything comes back on Trevor that way. It's not a defense of Trevor. I'm just saying he's not scary enough either.
Mm-hmm.
For a variety of reasons.
Of course.
To be like, oh wow, watch out. That's why I do think the Brian Thomas Jr. element is really important here, because you need somebody to scare a defense, and his speed is scary. Now, is he going to be physical enough? Is he going to catch the football? Is he going to be on the same page with Trevor? That will come into play. But at least what you do know is his speed is scary. I think Travis Hunter can play that scary role for defenses. You just don't know what he's going to do once he gets football in his hands. But they don't have that right now. I think you're right, Glenn. I think Dallas has that. Dallas used to have it in the running game at times. They now have it in the pass game. And they are a scary offense because of CeeDee Lamb, but really because of the way George Pickens is playing too. So I think that's what the Jags are missing. Can they find that somewhere? And it might not be on their current roster. You can hope that it's Travis Hunter, but I think that's a little bit more hope, at least right now, until we see it. We got to know it. You know it with the guys that I just said. You're not just like, well, he can be. No. He's got to be. And then on the defensive side, I said they're missing a guy like Budda Baker.
Right.
A guy that for 9 years in the league has gone to 7 Pro Bowls, I think 7 All-Pro teams or something crazy like that on a bad team or an okay team. But he's always in the right spot. He's smarter than most. He's going to make the play. I think they have that on a good level with some guys.
Yeah, like
I don't
Jordan
think
Lewis
they have
could
that
be
on
that
a
guy on a
great
good
level.
level.
Fourier is like that on a good level.
Right.
I think Josh Hines-Allen is like that on a good level.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to see that on a great level. Myles Garrett is great on that position. TJ Watt, look what he did yesterday in the one. Like, those are great players that have proven themselves year in, year out to be great. I think the Jags have good to very good in that category from consistency standpoint. That's where you'd put them. You wouldn't put them at great. So I really believe like the floor has been raised of the roster to be able to do what you're doing and win games with, quite frankly, a lot of guys running out there right now. That says the floor is higher, and the coaching, I would give them a hat tip and say, is better. But you've got to do things. And listen, to Liam Cohen's credit, he said, we need guys that you can't coach stuff. And that's get the ball in their hands and do what he does. Like Travis Hunter has an element of that. Again, Brian Thomas Jr.'s speed is an element of that. But you need somebody to show up each week expecting that because he can carry you again. Detroit almost had a miserable loss yesterday. And instead, they got a guy going for 200, and then they give it to him in overtime, and one play is a touchdown.
Yep.
That Etienne, again, has played like in big moments like that, but he's not that every play. Like, he's just not. And I love him. But I think that's where the Jags rock. That's why you still sit here and say, hey, the Jags are good. But they're not a great team. I mean, they're not. They can be a playoff team because they've put themselves in a spot to be a playoff team. They don't feel like there's not an ounce of me that feels like they're a Super Bowl contender. And I'm a positive guy. Like, I'm like, get in the dance and you never know what happens. It's sports. Like, absolutely. I get all that. But, like, this is totally get in the playoffs and whatever happens, happens. There's nothing in my mind.
No expectations.
No, I haven't even thought about it until I just said it right here. Like, I'm like, get to the postseason. Get to 10 wins at least and get to the postseason and see you.
Right.
If that's the case. And I'm sure they will, and I think they do think. I think they're like, hey, get us in the dance. We could be dangerous. We haven't even really played consistently well yet. But because they don't have the game-breaking player on both sides of the ball, that's just like, man, every day, every week, this dude's going to do this. Chalk it up. And one of those games or two of those games, he's going to carry you. And you're going to win because of it. I don't think you say that about anybody on the Jags.
Right.
And that's a consistency thing, but that's also just a great blue chip player thing, where I think the Jags need to get to if they're going to make a lot. I think my Kansas City comparison is really good right now because, to be honest with you, Mahomes is not playing consistently like he's played.
Mm-hmm.
he's a little all over the place, even within games. And I think part of that is because he doesn't have Kelsey playing at an elite level. But that was the guy that was playing at elite level. That's why Kansas City is so good. You got a great quarterback and a great tight end. Well, right now they have, it seems like, a good tight end and a very good quarterback. Again, this year, you would put him in a very good and good category. You wouldn't put him in the great category. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong there. Would you?
No.
You put Patrick Mahomes in, is he playing great? And I know he's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, his stats have actually inflated a little bit. They're better because he's throwing the ball more, and he's happened to throw for more touchdowns. Like when they're in the red zone instead of running them in. They don't have anybody they can trust in the backfield.
Yeah, I think somebody said this. It was Kurt Warner again. I just don't get a chance. But these late games, I watch a little bit from the hotel room early, the NFL Network stuff, and I was watching Kurt Warner. And I thought he said this about Kansas City, and I think he's really right. I don't watch every Kansas City game. But he's like, you have a lot of speed guys on the outside, so they can really run, but they're not good route runners. So if you cover them up, they're covered up. Now, you watch a guy like Parker Washington run routes, really good. You watch Jacoby Myers run routes, really good.
Yeah, crisp.
Right? But they're not also speed guys that are going to burn you. So, the Jags have a different way of that, which means that's why they're playing on a 25-yard field a lot.
Yeah.
Because of that. So, anyway, it's fascinating. Hey, I think a couple hours ago, probably I said, hey, listen to this soundbite. Hamby had it ready. I never got to it. So let's kind of, before we get out of here, I thought listen, Trevor's going to be a lot of the conversation. This isn't a day, in my opinion, as a defender of Trevor, to sit here and be like, yeah, but look what he did. No, I think we talked about it. I think this is a great day, really, for both sides of the Trevor conversation to acknowledge the other side of the conversation. And specifically, the maybe Trevor apologists to acknowledge the Trevor critics. Because it's hard to defend 4 turnovers. It doesn't matter how they really happened, whose fault it was. It's just hard to defend 4 turnovers. That's it. That's the end of the day. But I think also those Trevor haters who would have had a field day today also will acknowledge, damn, that was a hell of a throw. Damn, look what he did. He bounced back. I don't know if that's what I like about Trevor. I don't think I definitely haven't covered one. And I guess Brunell would be the answer here, but I wasn't around it enough. Is there a quarterback that could do what happened yesterday in Jacksonville Jaguars history, where you make the mistakes you make and you have the 4 turnovers, but you still keep coming back and firing and making some brilliant plays?
Just like the
as
playoff
well
game against the Chargers.
And again, you have the Chargers game, and that one felt like an isolated, okay, that's never going to happen again, especially in the playoffs. But this one felt a little bit like, man, you're cruising up and down the field, and then you have, again, an unfortunate play maybe on a tip or something like that. Then you throw a bad pick in your own end, and then, boy, you answer right back with a 4-for-4. This wasn't just like running the ball in, is my point. Trevor's only had 3 touchdown games this year. And he had 5 picks in those games combined. 6 touchdowns, 5 picks. Cincinnati in this one. So it's, Glenn says David Garrard. No, see, that's what David was not that. David was, first of all, he probably wasn't going to throw it 4 picks very often or 4 turnovers. And he wasn't going to just go get you right back into it and overcome it, most likely. He wasn't that kind of quarterback. And that's my point. It's what's really interesting about the whole Trevor thing is he's, Austin's point earlier, he's different than maybe anybody that we've seen, but definitely in Jacksonville, because he can make plays that no other quarterback in Jacksonville has ever made, including Mark Brunell. That's a fact. But he can also make plays that got you fed up with Blake Bortles. It kind of feels a little bit of that with the turnover stuff. So that's, again, my biggest thing today on Trevor is can you shrink the gap? Can you make that consistency just a little bit more, okay, it's going to be here. But maybe as much as if we're going to get the great plays, you're going to always have some not so great plays. That's part of the mentality of a really good football player. Thinks he can make every play. I don't know. Or a guy that can make those plays. Let's hear the Trevor sound before I forget it again. And I thought when I asked the question, it was about the gap. How do you shrink that, be a little more consistent?
We're here to win games, win the game, never apologize for that. And people can watch the tape and think and make their own judgments, and I'll watch it and do the same. Had some tough plays out there. Those guys make good plays as well. So I got to be smart with the ball. Obviously, we had 4 turnovers, and they were all on me. So I own that, and I gotta do my job and take care of the ball and not put our defense in tough spots. Totally get that, and but I'm never gonna play scared. I'm gonna continue to let it rip, and I think that's why we have a chance at the end of the day is because you keep playing. So never gonna apologize for that, but I will say cannot turn the ball over 4 times. So I own that, and I gotta clean that up. But I'll watch it and see what it was.
I really just thought there was a lot in that sound, but I don't know if anybody else heard it the way I did. It was like, it felt, and I said this to Hamby in one of the breaks, I was like, felt like, hey, I went back and watched those plays, and I thought some of the plays were really good plays by them.
They were.
And a couple of it was unlucky a bit, like maybe the protection, maybe the tip ball. And I don't think he's sitting there justifying it because he said multiple times, I can't turn it over 4 times. It's on me. Mm-hmm. But I also felt like he's kind of like hinting like, yeah, but we overcame it. And you saw like the other throws. Can we talk about those a little bit too?
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, that's where the consistency, he was almost defending himself, I think, a little bit. Where, I don't know, maybe he was just taken a little bit aback by, hey, we won the game and here we go right out of the gates on all the mistakes. I think that can kind of jar some guys. But I liked the answer because he ends it with, listen, like he actually is like, but listen, don't misconstrue this.
Right.
I can't turn it over 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like, again, he's that awareness there. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how he gets to that consistent place. He hasn't been a 4 turnover guy all the time in his career. But he's definitely now like a turnover guy a game at the very least. Even a lot this year in big games.
Yeah, and some of them aren't just the throws, that we saw yesterday, like the catch from Budda Baker. Like, kind of goes back to the Texans game. I mean, Stingley makes that play, and half the fan base that hates Trevor is like, how can you make that throw? And the other half is just like, bro, like that's a phenomenal play that not a lot of players in the NFL make. Like Stingley's a top 5 corner for a reason. He makes the play. Guess what? Budda Baker's a top 5 safety. He makes the play. So are they excusable or are they not? I think, it's going to be, do you want Trevor to be gun shy and to pull the ball down and run and throw the ball out of bounds and all this, or do you want him to make some throws?
Yeah, I would just say I thought about this a little bit. First of all, when we have these kind of covers, there's no threat of anybody else playing instead of him.
Of course.
And we've had that in Jacksonville. So, and everybody would want Trevor to play right now, this week and the next week and the next week over everybody else. So with all the discourse, there's not that. It's not like, oh, should you consider? The question is he going to be really good and is the contract too big and all that stuff? But I kind of thought, and how would people be thinking if this was him playing on a 5th-year option right now? And what would it look like in a free agent market for Trevor coming off this year? How many teams would buy into it? What would you go try to get something? And I still think the answer is probably not. You'd be more doing like a modest deal than a big deal probably. But I think time is money with Trevor Lawrence. And I know it's been 5 years, but it's been really 11 games with Liam Cohen. And that's the next thing. He'll be really, I think he drives Cohen crazy at times, but I think he also loves him at times. I don't know if he's that different than everybody else. What an experience with the Jacksonville Jaguars here in 2025. Makes for a lot of fun. Jaguars are 7-4. And we'll be at Jags Report Live tonight. Foye Oluokun will join us. Hope you can too at String Sports Brewery in Jax Beach. And then tomorrow, again, check out oneblood.org I tweeted the link. You can sign up and give some blood tomorrow. Josh Hines Allen will be out at that event at Southern Grounds on Atlantic Boulevard, 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. They're doing that. You can sign up for a time. We'll be there from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. with our show. Have a good Monday, everybody. It's a Victory Monday.
Hi, I'm Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville. Whether you're looking for a side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, or scooter, we have what you need.
Get a Moto Guzzi Stone Corsa for just $235 a month, or a Triumph Trident for as low as $207 a month, or the popular Honda Rebel 1100 DCT starting at a low $204 a month.
Stop by and choose your adventure from all of our great brands, only at Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard. Family owned and operated since 1983.
Hello, I'm Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Since 2003, our firm has fought exclusively for the rights of men in family law. Divorce, modification of child support, alimony, custody, and more, all for men. A father is vitally important to a child's life, and being a man is not a reason to pay more in child support or alimony. I'm a single father. I get it. If you have a divorce or other family law issue, contact Kenny Lay & Associates at divorcemenonly.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I want to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to our left side. Takes a shot. And into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
And they have been. We've been talking. We've been articulating.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a